it is what it seems. Topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, yo, set it up.
Surfing on the web and I'm shooting at 3. I've been goated when I got my G. I'm an alien boy from a different planet, yeah. So I got my drink, I'm riding in the 1920s Model T Ford. Call her Era Lord. Call me Levi, playing on the keys, boy. And I'm about to put my gloves on. If I said it, then I meant that. Yeah, I like that one, I'm about to get that. Crash that whip for the drumsticks, whiplash. I'm about to.
I ain't never gonna stop rapping. Orlando, yeah, we working magic. We rocking Ethereum entities. I just went and caught me a half base. Man, I got a shout out
Started
to
off with a
Body.
bit. Now I got coin. I see where y'all going. Been popping since Web 1. Hella hoes on Web 2. I was living a dream. Now I'm on Web 3. And it is what it seems. Topping the pyramid schemes, I'm telling you. I'll sell you a percentage on Nebula. Shout out to Vince, he'll set it up.
Freaking the mood to choose one, but they got knowledge to move, son. I'm shocking in shades with my brother in suits. Yeah, them blues is coming. Even though it's hard to pick, eeny, mighty, mo, soda on the mix, no biting lips, it's time to go. Index number 1, no thumbs up, you gotta scroll. Looking at the ghost in studio, it's time to go. I had a helmet on by myself until I met a mask that wanted to have a face off. So I had to bring my chainsaw, full tank of gas in the drive with my brakes off. I'm A1, but a different kind of steak sauce.
GM, welcome to Coffee with Captain. I'm Cap. Happy Thursday, everyone. Hope you're having a great, I was going to say great start to your week, but just a great week. It's almost Friday. Hope you've touched some grass and are up this week. Things continue. Happy all-time high day to those who celebrate. Stockbrokers up another 28% today. 7.6 ETH floor and within 0.38. I think it's earlier I said it was 9 sales. Now it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 sales. Nope, 4 sales and they flip apes. 4 sales and they flip apes. Might happen live on the show today. I know we said that previously and was off a little bit. Although I am wondering why Simple Farmer, who knows the lore behind why Simple Farmer's account on OpenSea changed from Simple Farmer to Power Ranger 69. I had to check, make sure I had the official collection. It is accurate, but the username is now Power Ranger 69, which is new. This here used to say Simple Farmer 69. Now it's Power Ranger, or you say Simple Farmer. Now it is Power Ranger 69. So something inspired the change. Who knows? What's the lore behind the Power Ranger 69 change? The people are asking. But again, a lot to get into today. It's been a popping off week. We have Mansers minting today. Congratulations to Mayhem and Diego, who won the allow list from yesterday. We had Michael on here, Slopfather talking Manser. That goes, what time does that mint today? I write, as of now, I do not have an allow list. I was talking yesterday, stealing from the rich and giving to the poor. Not that I'm the rich ones, but I did not pass forward the 2 allow lists we got to the community. So I'm on the sidelines at the moment. We'll see if I'm graced. That's not the right way. See if I'm blessed with an allow list here this morning. But there's also, it's the time of the season where I'm also missing mints. I actually got an allow list for icons, missed it. I did have an excuse yesterday, but excuses are just that, just an excuse. So my title today is a real question. Other than Mansers, what else is minting today? What else should we be keeping eyes on? We're going to crowdsource the show today. You all are helping co-produce. What do we need to be paying attention to today? Or whether it's minting or what else do we need to be grinding for allow list? Because I feel like we should be paying attention and putting forth a little more effort to secure these allow lists right now as things are seemingly heating up for real, at least in the NFT streets. 6 p.m. Eastern is the Manser mint. Thank you very much, Agent. So good luck there. I know it's not I know it's coming soon, but it feels like, oh, so that the Power Ranger 69 is just another corporate wallet, not new or different. That's where Aaron and Ernest got their brokers. Okay, good to know. Well, I wonder if they changed that then, because it used that. I'm near certain that it used to say buy Simple Farmer previously, to where now it says buy Power Ranger. Anyways, pump for Aaron and Ernest too, who've been they got Unvault launching here soon. Good timing for them to give a little. I know it's just numbers on a screen, but it's got to feel good to see one of their partner collections moon like this, and yeah, pump for them. I will. Yeah, I've got a few thoughts. It's like kind of a hodgepodge variety show, if you will. Fuego NFT minted or is minting today. Fuego is a community-powered identity layer for Lighter. Thanks for bringing that up, Dobbins, because this is my first time hearing about Fuego, but I have been wanting to get a Lighter trade in, and Lighter's one where probably gotten too greedy on that one. I was looking for an entry point, and I'm just not as locked in as I should be, and I've missed the dip opportunities. I think I saw Lighters up again, one of the winners on the day. Yeah, it's number 3 in the top 100. It's up 4.9%. So the time to open that long would have been yesterday, or I could just start DCAing in. Actually, maybe that's what I'll do once Manser goes live. Is I will start a daily DCA over there on Lighter. I remain bullish Hyperliquid, but I did take some Hyperliquid off the top, and it's a trade I've been in for a long time. And just, I think they're down 2% on the day, $55 still. I don't think Hyperliquid's gone anywhere. I think it remains top 10, but as someone who, with this bucket, I'm chasing asymmetric returns. I mean, a Hyperliquid's a huge win if it goes to 100 from here. So it's a 2x. And I just, with Robinhood chain winning and capturing the attention, I feel as if Lighter's got more than a 2x in it from here. Like Lighter could go to $10, and now you're talking a 5x compared to Hyperliquid's 2x. So a little riskier. I mean, Hyperliquid is definitely more established and less likely to say go to 0 than say Lighter. But talking 2 perp decks, I feels like more upside in Lighter. So that's what I'm keeping an eye on, looking for an entry point. I also mentioned, I shared yesterday that I have, I shared yesterday that I'd listed my stockbrokers at like 50% above floor. And first time in a long time, I woke up and I'm like, uh-oh, I might need to delist some NFTs because floor is ripping up. That hasn't happened in quite literally years. And because my plan was, if one wants to buy a rare trade or something and it sells 50% above floor, I'll take the gains and just I'll buy another floor one to just keep my exposure there. But yeah, we're no longer 50% above floor. So I need to consider if I'm going to delist and list higher again, or maybe we let one of them fly. But still a couple ETH away, but not nearly as much buffer as I had yesterday. Dobbins sold his hype when he hit 69. That's awesome. Great trade. Congrats there. Luna says the NFT bull isn't coming back. Luna, I've got some bad news for you. I'm not saying it's going to be the same. It's definitely not going to be the same as 21-22, but we're going to get another NFT bull. It's going to look very different, but I mean, I don't know. We've got a collection that minted for free not even a month ago and is already trading at 7.6 ETH. I guess that could happen in a bear, but seems kind of bullish to me. Again, going to be very, very different, but I do think it's RWA season. It's utility season is back. And also, by the way, we had 2 NFTs yesterday sell for over $500,000. Again, maybe hoodie punks are going for $500,000 in the depths of a bear. Maybe X copies are going for $500,000 in the depths of a bear. Seems to me like things are heating up a little bit. Just my perspective, just my opinion, but also since people love it when I bring back the PvP talk, not only is stock and inevitably anytime I post anything about it, like sure enough, and I'm not like, I get it, like I'm not taking shots at anyone, but sure enough, this morning as I posted 9 sales or 8 sales or whatever they are away from Flipping Apes, one of the comments is supply, sir, supply, agent name. Sure, yes, the supply is not the same. Floor is the floor. Like if you want to, like especially if we're talking about utility NFTs, whether it's access to a group chat or a clubhouse or RWAs in the form of on-chain stocks, if you want access in the ecosystem, it doesn't matter if there's 4,000 or 10,000 or 30,000. It's the entry price is the entry price. And right now, to enter that ecosystem, it's 7.6 ETH to enter it at the highest level. Yes, you can get in with some Pit Boys and others launching, other things launching in the ecosystem, but the entry is the entry. And but for those that want to just talk about market cap for NFTs, which is something we rarely do, because I got the same feedback when I mentioned that they are flipping Pudgy Penguins. People are like, oh, it's the supply is not the same. Well, the market cap just flipped Pudgy Penguins. So as of this morning, Stonebrokers is $65 million market cap, Pudgy Penguin $64 million. So for the market cap enjoyers out there, the flippening has occurred. And I know some people think I'm crazy. I know some people are sick and tired of hearing about Stonebrokers, which it makes me feel bad. I really do feel bad. I didn't push this harder. It was similar to my feelings on those Panini packs. Just like I didn't expect the Panini packs to 10x, I also didn't expect Stonebrokers to run up to 7.6 ETH, but it was cool. It was new. It was an experiment, and it was, even if you had no exposure into the clutch puppies or pup cups, like it was very inexpensive. You could have rolled $10 into it, and who knows if you would have held till now or not. But it was a trade that I should have pushed a little harder on here on the show. That said, a lot to touch on, and I've got some random thoughts. We may even talk about Nikita stepping down a day before the big SpaceX unlocks. This is kind of what I thought it was later, because there's 2 big phases in August. I thought it was happening towards the end of the month. There's actually another big unlock, but there's a little over $100 billion of SpaceX shares that are unlocked today for employees, and executives are still locked up until the end of the year. I presume that Nikita was one of those executives, but now that he's no longer in that role, he is free to sell his shares. So I'm not saying that's why he stepped down when he stepped down, but lines up with the vesting cliff meme being reached if he wanted to exit now, as opposed to when you take some of his profits for SpaceX now, as opposed to November or December. The only way to do that would have been to step down. So I don't know. Maybe it's a reach. Maybe that's why. Either way, I do think now it's already down. Maybe the trade was to open the short yesterday, but let me just check. Yeah, it's down 13% already after hours. I don't know what time those shares come unlocked, but yeah, the trade would have been to get it in yesterday, to open the short yesterday. The headlines say SpaceX stock falls 13% as AI spending surge rattles investors and massive share unlock looms. I think it's much more the massive share unlock is I don't want to say it was obvious, but kind of obvious. So while I'm talking about maybe the short window is open, I also am ready to flip and go long SpaceX as soon as we get through this month. I think not necessarily this round of unlocks, but the second one that hits later in August. I think it might find a local bottom. Maybe not. I'm not my area of expertise, but just simply playing the IPO in the unlock game here on these. Whether it's tokens or IPOs, anytime you got such a low circulating supply, when those unlocks start hitting, it's at least worth paying attention to. You don't have to trade it, but I wish I would have again been locked in and opened up the short yesterday, as opposed to realizing today that it's happening today and maybe late to that trade. I see Cheese's joined us. Before we go to Cheese, I just want to shout out. We had another came in at the near the end of the show yesterday, and I didn't give it a proper shout out. So the buycapcoffee.com board, Genuine Undead back on there. Appreciate you. Genuine Undead took this spot from NFT Drew. Drew's still on the board, however, as is Burb. Reminds me I need to get with Burb to talk about coffee. And our friends Frosties over at OS Wiki still holding down that center spot. You can buy one of these outside spots, not the Genuine Undead one, because it is still in the cooldown, but the other ones you can pick up for $10. And that center spot's 100. If you want to take over the whole board, you can do that for just $227. Or if you want to schedule a board takeover and make sure you have it for an entire show, we can lock it to where it ensures you get it for the whole show. Shoot me a DM and we can talk through what that looks like. But shout out to everyone, including Genuine Undead, big fans, and my guy Hans, who is the most generous Pingu tipper on the planet, even though it doesn't show up on the stream anymore. Greatly appreciate all the love and generosity over there. Hans hooked me up with a couple of Genuine Undead a ways back, and they will remain in the vault. No one's ever obligated to gift me any NFTs, but just know the gifts don't get sold. There's no sell shaming. If you've been gifted NFTs, they're yours. Do whatever you want with them. If I get gifted something, whether it's an honorary or out of someone's personal collection, it stays in the vault. And for instance, we were talking Steady Teddies yesterday. Still need to figure out what's going on there. I have a Steady Teddy. It was gifted me by the OG General, and it just maybe someday there's an airdrop or something, but otherwise, and any gifts it's my small way of showing support is they simply stay or they go to the vault and sit there. But yeah, shout out Genuine Undead and everyone else on the sponsor board. That's buycapcoffee.com if you want to check it out yourself. Oxy said, yeah, he's sick and tired of hearing about Stonk Perkers as well, mainly because he sold at 2 ETH. Hey, GG's, that's a good win. Ice forward, as the kids say. I'm grateful I've got a couple. It's this is why this space is so messed up. Is biggest win of the year on the NFT front, not even really close, and I'm grateful for that. I still have to force myself not to be, have FOMO or like, man, coulda, woulda, shoulda, I should have bought 100 clutch puppies and went hard on this and could have been a year maker. I've never been in any industry like it where I think the wins are actually more mentally taxing than the L's. Like I can take an L and just move right on. Like I don't even think about it. In my completely out of my brain space. It is what it is. It happens. Part of the game. Where I think about are the wins where I could have sized in more. I've not sold any yet. No. I think I've earned pushing like $1,000 in tokenized stocks that my brokers have been earning out there. And so, it's a free roll at this point. I know it's still, I can't do the math. 7.6 ETH, call it combined a little over 15 ETH. to USD. I probably shouldn't do this math because it's going to make me want to sell. It's almost 30 grand in 2 NFTs. So yeah, I shouldn't have done that math. But and yeah, thanks Mayhem, because had I pushed it hard, it could have flopped to be a different story, and then I, upset some people. But yeah, I actually also got reminded that there's another show that starts at 9 a.m. Eastern today. So that's when the flippening will occur. I'm calling the shot now. This is like Babe Ruth. I'm calling my shot. Between the hours of 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. Eastern, stockbrokers are going to flip apes. And it's that's just karma. That's the scales of balance. That's what happens when if you would like to regain that spot after the flipping occurs, you're going to have to change the time of the show. That's I don't make the rules. It's the universe, and it just does things like this. But Joey, don't be hard on yourself. I think you hit pretty well on those Panini packs. I'm not sure how many you've sold yet, but if I'm not mistaken, I think you bought 15 of those puppies at $25, and they ran up to 10x and then some. So GG's. Like, well, we got to be happy for our wins. And I'm talking partially here to myself for while I should be victory lapping stockbrokers, I am also thinking I wish I had more, and I'm forcing myself to get out of that headspace. I'm sharing this to you to be happy with your Panini broker or your Panini broker. That's where's this derivative? Who's spinning up Panini brokers and dropping it on Robinhood chain? Where's this at? Jesus, GM sir, thanks for joining the stage as always. I know you've been beating the stockbroker drum for a while. Probably talking with Simple Farmer longer than actually, I'm going to take full credit for identifying Simple Farmer early in his journey as a dev. I think we were the first sponsorship, the first partnership ever for Clutch Markets. Grateful for that. But you've been beating the stockbroker drum for a minute. I know you featured him on your show a few times, and you got in. You minted a few stockbrokers. How many have you sold any yet? Are you still? How are you playing this? Nice. I agree.
Through the Arbitrum, campaign that they did early on. Stockbrokers didn't win it, but they were one of the favorites or the favorite of Robinhood. I believe Adam Fern and him have some type of a friendship, or they worked at Arbitrum together, so they know each other. So, and Adam Fern's the head of product for Robinhood. So, like, there's, to me, I think there's follows coming. There's there's catalysts that are going to come beyond the great tech that he's built. Like, bro, I almost want to cancel my space today just to go listen to him talk to OSF.
Good call. I'm not saying good call to cancel your space.
I know. I was like, shit.
Thanks for the reminder. Yes, he is going on Rec Markets today with Ovi.
Yeah, which is going to be a great stream. I mean, bro, he's an excellent trader, one of the best in the space.
And I think it's going to be a good stream. And I actually probably going to do that because I hear that he's not overly bullish on stockbrokers yet, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, I don't believe so. Like, he put out a post, I think it was yesterday or the day before, that was kind of, it was, if you read it the way that I read it, it was kind of, not fuddy towards stockbrokers. Yeah, I think he's just as surprised as all the others that have missed the opportunity or missed the mint. There's a lot of people. We were talking about these things when you could have bought the Pup Cup NFTs. Simple Farmer came in on my space at least 3 times prior saying these are going to burn for a future item, for a future project. And I said it a week before the mint. These things were $10. I'm like, I feel like we should be sweeping these. And then Simple Farmer came on the stream a few days later, and I bought 3 more on the stream for I think $40. And then when you see the price go up from $40 to $200, it's like, do I want to burn these or do I want to take some profit and I have my whitelist? And I already had 6 whitelist anyways. And so I fucking sold them.
Mhm.
And it's like, I had 9. Hans had 11. He sold some of his, or I think he had 16.
Oof.
But he sold some of his. But he did mint. He did mint and has done well.
And hey, it's easy. It's super easy for us to look back now and be like, I can't believe you sold those for a couple $100. I can't. You could have minted all these and you'd be up, another 6 figures. The reality is that's how you play the game. Because for everyone that runs up from a free mint or a burn to 7 ETH, there's quite literally hundreds that don't do that. Hundreds that it's DOA or it speed runs to 0, and you bought a few more and you ended up being what could have been a profitable trade into you actually lost money on it. Like so it's important to remind ourselves that we always could. Anyone here could have done better. Like people that were early and bought Bitcoin in 2011. Well, why didn't you buy more? It's like there's coulda, woulda, shoulda is very easy to do. It's like Oxy earlier started this off it makes me sick because I sold it 2 ETH, dude. It's easy now, but looking back, that's a huge win. I don't know if there's been another NFT that's ran from free to 2 ETH in 2026. That's. You look like a genius at 2 ETH, and at 7.6 ETH, you're like, man, I fumbled that. It's like, well, you booked a really nice win, and it is important to. It's really important to book wins,
we gave one of these away in our space, and when I gave away not an actual stockbroker, but it was a Pup Cup NFT. We did the giveaway. My co-host won it. And then I was like, pick somebody in the audience. He gave it to Dillo, who I think is here in the audience now. Gave it to Dillo. Dillo minted and sold for 1.7 ETH. That's a massive fucking come up, man.
Yep.
And does he wish he still had it? I'm sure. Yeah, fucking obviously. Bro, if anybody could have went in the future and seen where these were at, everybody in here with a doodle and an ape and whatever, they would have sold all their bags they could have and bought as many as they could.
Yep. It's like English NFT says, talking to Oxy here, says, and it goes for everyone really. Hey, if you didn't sell at 2 ETH, you wouldn't be selling at 6, which means you would have round tripped it. Maybe not. But yeah, sometimes you just you need to go in with a plan. You need to have a thesis. Jesus said, hey, his thesis is the token, the fungible token, could get to $100 million. Could get to $100 million. It's like a 2x from here. It sounds crazy to think about an NFT going to 15 ETH in 2026. It doesn't sound crazy for a token that has a lot of motion around it to go to 100 million. We see it all the time in the meme coin trenches with nothing else, pure vibes, just pure vibes and momentum. To your point, Vlad hasn't followed it yet, hasn't tweeted about this. There's a lot of potential catalysts that have nothing to do with what Simple Farmer and the ecosystem ships, right? There's a lot of potential catalysts, which, oh, by the way, there's also other catalysts there, like a Launchpad that I think is coming online soon, and other.
Did you see the post from Clutch Markets this morning? Pull that up and put it on stream and read what's on the piece of paper on the desk if you haven't looked at that. Because there's something else coming and we don't know what it is. And just look at the order.
So I saw this post. I did not zoom in and see. I did not zoom in to read the paper because I saw the post. I saw some people quote tweeting it, but I actually did not. And this is when I talk about the early 21 vibes. I know it's easy to just say, oh, he's just bull posting the price go up. It's easy to talk about it. Like,
but he doesn't do that. He has not done that.
I think what gets me, and this is, I know some of you are going to just shake your head and think I'm BSing. I'm not. Like, if I was more excited about the price, I'd be selling right now. What I'm more excited about, more bullish about, is the community, is the ecosystem, is the fact we've already had Stonk Boy or Pit Boys and Uncle Mac dropped Derp already. We've got Manser launching today. Like, it's been a while since we've seen this sort of activity out of an ecosystem. And I don't know if we've ever seen this sort of on-chain building out of an NFT ecosystem. Historically, it's been new chains. It's been like I'm trying to think through like recent memory. It was Hyper EVM. It was Hyperliquid, and there was a lot of new protocols that were launched. That, yes, it was a chain, but it was also like they were leveraging that ecosystem. The motion, the excitement, the energy. That's what I'm seeing with all the builder energy around this. The utilities around it. I said it's like yesterday. I said it's like it's giving me like early Bored Ape Yacht Club airdrop vibes, because back in 21, if you had the right NFTs, it led to so much opportunity. It wasn't just what Yuga airdropped. It wasn't just the Doggos and the mutants and the deeds and the Dookie Dash Pass. Like, yeah, that was cool, but it was also, you got, I'll say some of them could have been 5 figures that I timed it right, but I'll say ones that I had $4,000 wins, like several $1,000 wins on from third parties, was Botto. Botto is the AI art engine, the art generator. We got, I don't know how many thousands of dollars it was in Botto just for holding an ape. We got Steppen shoes that were the sneakers you could have sold for 3 ETH. By the way, Steve won that bet. Steve sold his sneakers for 3 ETH. I was like, you know what? I'm going to play the game. I'm going to, Steppen's popping off. I walk all the time. This fits me. And Steve made 3 ETH on his Steppen sneakers. I had 2 sets, and I think I eventually capitulated and sold one for like maybe 1.5 ETH. And the other sneakers I still have in Steppen game somewhere that I haven't logged into for years. And I think I made like $3 in Steppen. So Steve made 3 ETH. I made $3 because I decided to keep it and not sell the airdrop. Anyways, my point is the third party airdrops or access allow list. Like, this is the energy that I'm seeing on Robinhood chains, exciting. And so you combine that with utility season and leaning into the tech, in this case, more than just the ERC 6551s, but actually utilizing the wallet tech is pretty exciting. I don't know. I do have this post that Jesus mentioned. I have it pulled up on the screen here. So for those that are either listening into the audio spaces or you're catching the podcast recording later, I'll read it to you. So it's a picture of like an office space with some envelopes, like a mailbox, and says at the top says distribution starts here. Launch once, reach every broker. Stonk launcher coming soon. And then on the paper on the desk, it says special projects. Chain Mansers mint today. Secret launch ? New infra coming. Robinhood chain stock tokens available everywhere ? And the next bullet point is distribution launchpad soon. What is that? What do you interpret this? Do you have any hot takes, any speculation that any specific takes when you read this, Jesus?
I don't know, because the secret launch, I don't know, man. Like, he did the gotcha with the broker box. If you go look at the Pixel Pups roadmap, there was something in there like a gotcha with cards that was supposed to be coming with collector crypt.
Interesting.
I don't know if something there is going to happen, because now they have the verifiable technology to do that on Robinhood. You could have still done it with other tech that was already out there, but for it to all be 100% Robinhood verifiable outcomes, that's the tech that Uncle Matt created on Robinhood. So now a lot of that stuff's going to be integrated in, that tech is part of what Stockbrokers is going to do in the future. So I don't know what the secret launch could be. I have the slightest clue. It could be a big partner. It could be, I would imagine his DMs are just lit up right now with people wanting to collab, people wanting to partner. You see other projects that are on the anvil that want, they want a piece of what Stockbrokers is because a lot of people missed it. And, he's in a tough spot to try and keep everyone happy. But I think all value flows through clutch markets. So we talked about this on my space. And when you go to the anvil and you're looking and you see some of these other projects like Regenerates and, there's Bad Frogs. I'm looking at it now. Monos. Like some of these other projects could get some pump, at some point. It's a big speculative play because they are part of the anvil. And this is like the home base. Mm-hmm. So when I asked him yesterday, because I was curious about the launch pad and how they were doing the 50% of liquidity. How are they doing the 50% liquidity for every project? Like Manser is 50% Manser token, 50% Stockbrokers. And I didn't know if it was going to be like a tri-pool and doing it that way, where there's a third asset bridged in with it. But he said, no, 3 sides to the launcher. You have a classic launcher, VRNG, versus Anvil AMM versus special projects. So, when he puts out the information on this and how I have a feeling a project's going to be able to get on there. They're going to say, yes, we want to launch. They pay the fee, which he's mentioned is like a half an ETH. So that stops all of the degens coming on there trying to launch 1 million tokens because you do have to pay a fee to launch, it seems like. And then I think you're going to be able to select which way you want to go as a project and how you want to do it. But every LP is going to be backed 50% with Stockbroker token. So, I mean, bro, he's adding so many flywheels to the token. There's every day there's more burn. And what the secret project could be, I don't know. But it's gonna cook.
And I don't think the secret project that he's referencing is Clock In. Clock In, they're calling it a theme coin, a new moniker here. I think it's All City maybe, and a few others that are behind this one. I pinned it up top, but they're planning to launch Clock In on the Stockbroker Launchpad, and I think I read something about. Let me just share here. I think I read something about a percentage of the token is going to go directly to Stockbrokers as well. Again, back to the earlier point of this community ecosystem where if you hold the right assets, it's not just winning, it's not just getting stocks from the Stockbroker wallets, but potentially other collections, whether they're launching on Stockbrokers or Robinhood chain or potentially elsewhere, wanting to tap into that community. And one of the ways to do it is there's your airdrops, there's your distribution plan. They go on to say, I've got this article pulled up. I did pin it up top for anyone who wants to read the whole thing. So what's a theme coin? More substantial than a disposable meme, more independent than a traditional utility token, and more deeply rooted in an existing brand's lore. We're coining theme coins as the tokens which represent a distinct category that combines media, entertainment, culture, and community while developing an independent identity, market structure, and product layers of their own. They also don't just fit in within an existing ecosystem, they actively support and expand them. For us, that means creating progressive reward opportunities for activated stockbrokers who hold the Clock In token, developing products and marketing campaigns that include other ecosystems, protocols, and participants, and championing Robinhood Chain's focus on tokenized stock for real-world assets. So Clock In, again, is going to launch with liquidity pools established across several pairings on Uniswap, Stockbroker as the central ecosystem pairing, and Tesla, Netflix, and Amazon as the initial classic stock token basket. Ape as an ode to Bored Ape Yacht Club, and a publicly identified reserve for future liquidity expansions. So, I mean, it might just be semantics. Maybe. Poison says now we're just renaming meme coins. I mean, not all meme coins are the same. A meme coin is a pure meme coin. It is just vibes and, you know, tapping into a viral internet moment. Brand coins are very, like, on the surface, they may seem just like another meme coin, but they're very different. Look, see Rec Coin and what Rec Brands has done with their brand coin. It's more akin to a traditional loyalty rewards program than it is just a meme coin, because there is not just utility, there's perks that are included. It's like a, you know, if you don't want to call it a loyalty reward program, it's like a next generation mail-in rebate that you don't have to mail. You just scan a QR code and you have the rebate instantly in your wallet. What I just read with Clock-In is there's more there than 99.9% of meme coins. So is it a fungible token? Yes, they have that in common with meme coins. But meme coins are just that. It's just memes. It's just there's no utility, there's no tie-in. It's simply just a token that the overwhelming majority of them will speed run to zero. Now, there's no guarantee that Clock-In or a theme coin is going to have success, but
well, I mean, this is the meme. You know, this is the meme for stockbrokers. And let me tell you something, bro. Every day I talk about this in my space and the active brokers. This number has gone up like 300 active brokers. People are still actively burning thousands of dollars to activate their brokers. It's at 1,690 brokers right now.
wow.
You know, which is insane. I seen a post from yesterday. The guy said he burned $183,000 worth of stockbrokers tokens to activate all of his. Now, I don't know if he was doing it at the current price and he actually did it at the beginning, but he said he's about to activate 2 more up to like tier 3.
So, you know, that's where I am going to beat myself up is I'm not going to go back in history and wish I would have minted more or bought more pup cups or clutch puppies to get more mints. I should have went harder at opening and activating. I should have went ratcheted them both up to the top tier, because now it's like
$30,000 to get up to the top tier.
Crazy, man. Like it's and like I remember looking at it on day one, like I don't know if I'm going to spend like $1,000 to get to the top tier. It seems like a lot. Now it's like I would have made that many times over already in rewards. I'm going to push back a little bit here. I mean, I appreciate the comment and thank you very much for sharing another perspective. Poison says it's good to see projects try new things. It moves the market. Art is great, but an animated show, a TCG, and gaming add new layers into projects and help further bridge into Web 2. The coins and or stocks linking to NFTs will not onboard normies. They will continue to see it as a scam. I'm not saying Web3 brands shouldn't do animated shows, TCGs, or gaming. It's an and. I want to see both. Yeah. Like the brands that are doing the TCG and the gaming and the animated shows, and some of them are, it's not all. I'm not trying to just use a blanket statement, but because some of them are experimenting on chain. Some of them are doing more on chain. So many of them went so hard. It's almost like they pivoted out of being an on-chain business and building on-chain products into we're just going to sell physical products, both to our existing Web3 users, and hopefully we can find some normies to sell to, whether it's in a Walmart, a Target, or online. That's fine. Like, I'm not saying don't do that, but it's an and. You can be doing both. At minimum, drive alignment with your holders and supporters and give them, you know, using some specific examples. VFriends allowed their holders to purchase, you know, their Chrome drop boxes without having to go through the raffle or without having to get an EQL or hunt it down at a retail store. Some may not care. Some may have not been in the market for that anyways, and whatever, it is what it is. But at least there was an attempt there to drive alignment and provide value to your NFT holders, provide value to your supporters. And many have done things like that. I just would like to see both, because I actually think, I don't think that sort of stuff is going to onboard many normies into the space without the other. Klaynos is a good example of, they're doing the animated series, but it didn't just stop there. They, at the same time, they launched on Amazon. It's so cool now, by the way, when I'm, laying in bed and looking for a new show at 8:37 p.m. and I'm flipping through Amazon and there's Klaynosaurus right there. Like, I know it's silly. It's really cool to me to see Klaynos on the big screen as someone who doesn't watch YouTube on TV. To see Klaynos popping in my recommendations on Amazon is pretty exciting. But where they did it right, in my opinion, is they had the digital packs, which also included some Hebrew. So someone who goes and they watch the Amazon series and then they do some little bit of Klaynos research and they see the watch and collect, and it's like the combination of the two. That's what I want to see more of, more on-chain experimentation, because I actually do think, and maybe normies isn't the right way to put it, but I think there's a lot of people who got excited about NFTs during the utility era. And once so many of these brands decided they're just going to be, our NFTs are just, it's just our rookie card. It's just an on-chain collectible. It's just the art. A lot of them left. Some are still here in crypto, but a lot don't trade NFTs anymore. They're completely uninterested in just collecting on-chain digital art. And I'm not going to name any names, but some have been pretty kind of vocal about this on the timeline. And I actually think that this sort of stuff will bring them back in to the space, or we'll get them active in the space again, as opposed to just being, they're on crypto Twitter or they're adjacent to it, but they're not really participating in anything. Utility was a big part of what allowed utility was a big part of what enabled all the NFT PFP brands that are now doing animated shows and TCGs and gaming to get where they are. It started with the utility. In some cases, it was just access or community, and then they built around that from a distribution standpoint, from a just grassroots word of mouth and excitement. And then when they did the other stuff, they had a existing base of supporters. I think and is the best way. And I actually do think RWAs and doing more with the technology will bring more people back into NFTs. And I think it also is going to inspire more builders, because there's so much untapped with the technology. It's more than just a digital collectible. And I think downplaying it as just that is missing it. I think it's please don't take us out of context. I'm not calling anyone out. But I think it's weak. I think it's an excuse. Anyways, I see we got a lot of hands here. Go ahead and cheese this, and then we'll go around the horn.
Hey, just to I don't know what happened. I don't think anything was announced. I didn't see nothing, but to put it in perspective, like Cash Cat had a follow from Vlad. It is, connected historically, because I believe Cash Cat was what the name of Robinhood was before it was Robinhood, whatever. But I mean, bro, it just literally just now wicked from
because they got listed
129 mil to 210 mil.
It got listed by Robinhood.
Oh, did it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So there you go. We talk about potential
is going to be fucking insane.
Yeah, we talk about potential catalysts outside of what Simple Farmer's building, outside of anyone in the ecosystem's building. Well, there's two. One catalyst is simply a Vlad follow, a Vlad repost, a Robinhood account follow, a Robinhood account repost. They've been featured by Beeple like 5 or 6 times already. The other catalyst would be getting the listing. And if Cash Cat can get listed on Robinhood, why can't Stockbroker get listed on Robinhood? Will it lead it to a candle that at 2x's? Maybe not. Probably goes up a little bit. I'm going to go refill the coffee real quick. So I want to go around the horn. I'll be able to hear the speakers. I just won't be able to jump back in. So Jesus, do you mind emceeing while if they're wrapped up before I get back?
Yeah. Yeah, man. How do I choose between these two legends?
Well, I got 3 actually. I don't know if you can see. I got Proof, Alpha DJ, Joey, and Drew, and Oxy. We got 4 legends.
Yeah, I didn't see. So let's go to Drew. Drew GM, because Drew is the maybe he's come up here to tell us to protect our backs. But Drew, what's up, man? GM.
Yeah, GM. I thought it was kind of interesting. I don't know who commented before, but I was listening to a bunch of stockbroker spaces yesterday, and there's a lot of like the people that aren't on board probably because they just missed and they're upset. Just talking about, oh, like how does this onboard more users? I think it's pretty interesting if you go to Reddit and you type in Robinhood NFTs or Robinhood digital assets, or particularly stockbrokers, and see the back and forth communication. You have a good mix of people that likely were onboarded, which was pretty cool. People that say it's dumb and they're just going to keep trading tokenized stocks, literally the same thing. And then 3, you have people that'll never, ever, ever get on board. But I think that this is the actual first time that I would say recently an L2 or L3 launched where it actually did bring in new liquidity, new people, and we're just not PvP trading back and forth. And it's a matter of whoever got in first one. And it's everyone should go check it out. It's pretty interesting banter.
Yeah, what do you make of like what I don't like seeing, and we always see it because this is the space though, is that the flipping of apes, the flipping of this, the flipping of that, or it starts turning into a this versus that. Like, I mean, I guess that's just the human nature, right? Where we're going to see that no matter what chain it's on. You got people that are pissed that they missed it, people that are happy and euphoric. So I don't, it's the space is wild, man.
I mean, it's really no different than concert tickets right now or anything else from Web 2. You're going to have people that FUD Ticketmaster because they forgot to join the queue or they didn't get the ticket. And, now they're upset that they missed it and they have to pay 2 or 3 times the price because of scalpers. I mean, the ideology of it is all the same throughout Web 2 and Web 3 in different ways. It's just in CT, like we are literally in this closed ecosystem where, a lot of people think whatever they see on the X Twitter timeline, everyone in the world knows and thinks about. When we're like, 1%, or I think Nikita last time he talked about it, crypto Twitter is 0.4% of Twitter. Like it is so small and it is not the world. And there's so much larger stuff going on. And I mean, the whole purpose of Robinhood chain is literally tokenized stocks trading 24/7. And the volume is just absolutely insane from that alone. And I think this is where each chain is going to have its very niche specific purpose. And this is a great example of when it does, it fucking works.
Yeah. Proof, what's up, bro? GM,
man, and I'll be quick because Joey V, you got to save the spotlight for Joey V so he can sweep this thing up and take us home. No, thanks for having me up. I just wanted to say that definitely Robinhood's volume is ridiculous. It's actually staggering. But with this coin, I'm understanding that it's being called or labeled or referred to as a theme coin rather than just simply a meme coin, thereby encompassing all of the aspects of what these coins do rather than just saying this is the meme portion of this right here. So it's a little bit more expansive than meme coin terminology. So just kind of stick around and pay attention to that as the verbiage comes out.
I can just see some people getting big mad. I can see them rolling their eyes at us right now, Proof, as we talk about theme coins. Like it's like making some people big mad. I can see it happening. These idiots. It's just another meme coin. I'm not talking about Poison, who mentioned that in the chat. I'm just saying some people are going to get big mad about new vernacular. And I have not checked out the Reddit threads, but I will. I'll be jumping into that. I also had to check. I can't remember. Someone said their Cash Cat went to Oxy, I think, said his Cash Cat went from $5 to $20. I thought I might have bought some Cash Cat with my.
I think Cash Cat just got lost on listed on Robinhood.
It did, yeah.
Some tweets, yeah.
It did, yeah. I mean, I have apparently $20 of Cash Cat, but I didn't buy $20. So maybe
that came from OpenSea airdrop. If you had been using OpenSea mobile, they airdropped everybody $5 worth of Cash Cat.
All right.
And so you've got a 4X there and you didn't even know it.
Look at that. Look at that. $20 from my guy Steve. Everyone go tell Steve thanks for your $20 in Cash Cat. I did not know this. I think gifted us other things. So. You know what? I mean, OpenSea Mobile might be the alpha. My I probably should. I mean, it's public, so you can see it on there. But my OpenSea, I remember when I first downloaded, finally, I was late to the game. When I finally got my OpenSea Mobile, that wallet that's linked to it, tweeted out, and it was like 30 grand. And I just looked in the app this morning. It's like it's over 50 grand. So thank you, OpenSea Mobile, for pumping our bags. This is all OpenSea Mobile gets all the credit in the world. I didn't realize they were giving gifts like that. But yeah, it is. It's been up only since I downloaded OpenSea Mobile.
They did it right after MoonPay started doing their airdrops.
Okay.
They did it the day after. So I have a few codes too. If anybody in the audience wants one, I think I did. I don't know if you have any.
It is actually pretty slick. Like the platform it's got me into. Like for a while, I wasn't doing any activity on my phones. I removed all wallets, and I just became probably a little too safe and secure. My guy Drew got in my head, and was really locked down to not doing much trading outside of where I just in the war room, my physical war room. But yeah, OpenSea Mobile's got me willing to dabble a little bit on when I'm out and about.
Can you buy on it yet though?
Yep. Oh yeah.
Yes.
You can't buy NFTs yet.
Oh, it's just tokens so far.
Yeah, it takes you straight over to the browser.
Okay. Yeah, I've not tried to buy NFT.
But Zach said it is coming.
Okay. Yeah, I have bought, I can confirm, I bought a couple of tokens. Here's a code too. So if you need a code for OpenSea Mobile, hit up Jesus. Diego just shared one as well. B2ZRNR is a code that someone can grab if you are wanting to get in there. But in all seriousness, they've done a good job with the app. It's kind of wild to me that we're like it took till 2026 till we had a good mobile app, and then we still can't trade NFTs on it. So not saying like the ability to trade NFTs mobile, which you can do, but more of a nice to have than anything else. But giving them credit where it's due, and that was one that I've been still pretty limited in what I've done on there, but it's snappy, it's smooth, it's quick, and yeah, nice to see. I think Joey was next, and then we'll go an idiot, and then we'll get Oxy in here. Joey, GM, what brought you up this morning?
GM, I came up when I don't remember who it was made the comment about animes and cartoons and like all that stuff. Like that doesn't work for everyone, right?
Right.
We can't say that everybody should create toys.
Actually, can I interject, Joey? I actually don't think it works by itself. I don't think it works for anyone. I don't think anyone's going to see an animated short or a TCG or a plushie and it's like, oh my goodness, this is so awesome. I've got to become a crypto bro now. You know what? This TCG changed my life. I'm joining crypto Twitter tomorrow. Like no one's by itself. Like it's a revenue generator. It's a product line with these respected brands. It's revenue driver for them. All that's good and great and necessary, but without some sort of tie-in to on-chain, it's not bringing anyone into the space. Like it's not going to.
Well, there's different. Like we have to remember that there's different verticals within a business, right? So I had this conversation with my brother actually yesterday about Dad's Attic because we're looking at somebody who wants to essentially invest. And what I was explaining to him is this person wants to invest in live streaming, right? Like they want Dad's Attic to start doing either Whatnot or Fanatics Live or eBay Live and live streaming. And he was like, oh, but then they're going to own a percentage of our business. I said, no, they're going to own a percentage of the live streaming business. Like you have to look at all, like your business can have different verticals. It all doesn't have to be one thing. So for us, we have like our live shows where we go and vend. We have eBay where we sell. If we institute live streaming, we'll have live streaming. If we open up a retail brick and mortar, like they're all different. And just like in this space, if you want to your point, be successful in Web3 and do creative and innovative things in Web3 that rewards your holders and keeps people coming back, cool. But that can be completely separate from your Web2 business, which could be a cartoon, it could be toys, it could be a TCG. They don't have to work together. Now, could there be benefits that you offer to kind of bridge the gap? Like you mentioned VeeFriends, where if you were a VeeFriends holder, you got early access to buy their Topps Chrome. If you wanted to, you could have flipped that Topps Chrome box for a profit as a holder. Or you could have opened it, maybe hit a big card, got Gary to autograph it, who knows, whatever, right? So you can find ways to bridge the Web2 and Web3 gap, but it all doesn't have to be one business. You can have different businesses and different verticals within your business that never even work together, as long as and for us in this space, as long as you're finding a way to give your holders some type of benefit. Could be a discount, could be something free, could be whatever. But in Web 2, like it's a very different mentality. Like in Web 2, people don't expect things. Like they don't expect free stuff. They don't expect free money. Like we forget like loyalty programs in Web 2 are very different. Like Web 2, it's like buy 10 sandwiches, get one free. Like if you offer that to somebody in Web 3, they'd be like, that's it. That's all I get. But meanwhile, you go into Jersey Mike's or Subway and you got to spend like $500 on sandwiches to get like a free $5 sub. And we appreciate that. And we love it, right? It's the same with like, so it's just two very different consumer bases, and it's okay to build for them differently. And not everything's going to work for everyone.
Yep, I agree. I think the best answer is both. They're different divisions. It's not going to work for everyone. To your point, in Points and Follows Up, I agree about TCGs, but you can bring NFTs into the game, which will be adding a scan code to verify your card, NFT, and be played in game with standard edition sets. Bring people into bring people because those cards are rare. Could be done. It's not really been executed yet, though. And
I mean, there are digital. Well, I mean, there are digital,
but I don't.
TCGs, right?
Yeah, but I don't think anyone has leveraged the power of blockchain as much as the potential is there.
Yeah. Like Pokemon has a digital trading card, right? Like you can go right now and download in your Play Store a digital collectible Pokemon game. They had Pokemon Go for a long time. Now, is the technology better if they implement NFTs and blockchain? Sure. But it doesn't always have to be that to bridge the gap. You could find a way to bridge the gap without forcing people into owning NFTs and blockchain technology. Again, you could have two separate businesses under one brand and find a way to bridge them. I do think TCGs, on-chain TCGs make a ton of sense, obviously, right? Because of ownership and all that stuff like that, and verification. And, I mean, we're seeing people post videos of like these new printers that are literally printing fake Pokemon cards by like the thousands. And unless you know what to look for in the most minuscule detail, you'll fall for it. NFTs and blockchain technology fix that.
Exactly.
Right. But like you still have to have something that appeals to the other consumers, which are the people that want to touch, feel.
And so far, like if the leading TCG, I mean, Vibes, I think is the leading TCG out of Web3 so far. I know Azuki just launched theirs, but like the Web3 tie-in with Azuki, the holders could have gotten the like alpha cards, the alpha packs. So they are rare and desirable, but it's just another physical card that was in less supply. It was like the first run, like the first off the line equivalent. Vibes, I can scan this card and I can play the Vibes game online, but it's just the digital counterpart. And it's almost like they're not the rare ones. It's like it's how to get into the game. So I'm knowing the Igloo team, I'm optimistic and hopeful that there is a future tie in there. There's a future connection that actually, whether it's abstract or some sort of like, how do you do more with the on-chain component?
Not the Igloo team. That's not the Igloo team. Remember, that's
true.
That's Spencer's team.
Actually, and so I think they actually have, it might be ApeChain then. I think they're, maybe that's just Moonbirds. I don't think maybe that has nothing to do with Orange Cap Game. It might just be Moonbirds, but pretty sure there's some sort of agreement there that Moonbird's future, any on-chain activations would take place on ApeChain. But I could be mistaken on that though. Anyways, I digress. So yes, there's a lot of potential there. Back to the and though, it's by itself, I don't think a TCG by itself is necessarily bringing people into crypto. There's got to be something that it's got to make it a better product. And I think I can see paths to that, but I'm not the TCG expert or the one to say, and they're having a lot of success. So I'm not telling them to change what you're doing. It's working. So, keep doing it, double down.
Yeah, we did have an on-chain TCG in 2022 and 2023. It was called Gods Unchained, I think.
Yep.
And it was, for a period, it was massive. Like, it was getting to as
what happened to it? Does anyone know?
What was that other one? Axie Infinity or whatever. Yep. Like, Gods Unchained was reaching that kind of crazy status as an on-chain TCG because of the rewards you were getting.
And Parallels was a TCG as well, right?
Yep, that was another one.
What happened with Gods Unchained? It's still,
but they also launched the physical too. I think they had the on-chain, and then they moved in. They started, if I remember correctly, they started on-chain, and then introduced physical packs to try to bring like Web 2 people in. But I don't know what happened to them either.
They're still going, and you can actually scan the physical cards to get them in game online as NFTs. If I'm not mistaken, I'm almost positive you can do that with the physical pack.
For which collection is that?
For Parallel, and they're still going. Like, they're still releasing new packs. They're still releasing new cards and stuff like that. They're still building out that. There's still tournaments and stuff like that. Yeah.
Very cool. Let's go, since Oxy was there, let's stick with Oxy, and then we'll go an idiot, and then back to Drew. Oxy, what else did you want to get? Yeah. Other thoughts on this conversation this morning?
Yeah, I'm really curious what stockbrokers are going to do. I mean, I have relatively little exposure to them at this point. I've got some of the tokens still from playing around initially, but just super sad. I sold the NFT for so little, quote unquote, so little. I think what's like super interesting that people just seem to, I don't know, maybe it's just my own opinion of things, but Robinhood is a very niche and like specific user base outside of the crypto space. Like, everyone that's on Robinhood right now on the crypto side is, the 2021 or earlier through today. It's the, OG NFT collectors, the, traders that have been here through and through. I really don't think Robinhood has really branched and onboarded many people outside of the same folks that are trading over and over again. So what I think is really interesting and unique about stockbrokers and anything that is tying in this, like the tokenized equity aspect of Robinhood is really adhering to, or like, playing into the audience that could potentially be onboarded to this chain. So I think there's a nuance there where I know we're kind of like grouping all these NFT collections into the same bucket of the culture NFTs or the IP NFTs that we're used to. And I don't know if that's entirely right. Kind of like what you guys were just saying. It's not for everyone.
Honestly, that's what I said the other day. Were you listening the other day when I said that?
No, I didn't hear that. No,
that's what I said the other day. Like, we can't keep grouping all these things into the same category. It's a different
industry. It's a different space. Like, if stockbrokers turn around and said, "Oh yeah, we're gonna make a TV show," dude, zero immediately.
I'm fucking cheating my back fast.
That doesn't make any sense. So the fact that I don't know, it's just everyone's just stuck, like stuck in that same kind of niche and idea, in my opinion. And I think we just got to think about it differently. Originally, when NFTs came to the space, I mean, if you read, Steve's book about NFTs and all the use cases therein, it's more than just what we have learned to believe and what we have built in this space ourselves. I mean, we're a product of our own, we've done it to ourselves. It's just more than that. So I don't know, we just got to kind of broaden our horizons a little bit, or just change our thinking a little bit on what, these could be, and get a little creative, which I think they've done a great job at. The team has.
Yeah, well said. I mean, I wholeheartedly agree on all parts. I wholeheartedly agree. I would still say that while they are very different, they're not the same. At the end of the day, many of these ecosystems do have an NFT at the core of it and a fungible token tied into the ecosystem. And so where the similarities lie is the technology, is what you can do with the technology. And that's going to be something different whether you're doing an animated series or a plushie, or you're leaning into RWAs. But that is the common thread, is the tech. And while the business they're building could all be very, very different, I do think there's some things that can be done that look similar, because it is possible with the, that's what the technology enables. So we're going to go to Idiot, and then we're going to go to NFT Drew. But before I go to an Idiot, big congrats to Proof of Alpha DJ, picked up a punk. Congratulations, sir. Welcome to the Crypto Punks. Proof Alpha DJ, not one of those pretentious punk holders that you might see or not see on the timeline. But in all seriousness, congratulations, big dub, and love seeing people, especially the good people, win and check off those aspirational goals. Congratulations, sir. An Idiot. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Appreciate all the support, and well deserved. Love, truly pumped for you, and pretty fired punk too. Let me I'll pull it up here in a second and show it on screen. But big congrats. Love to see it. An Idiot. GM, what brought you up this morning?
Yeah, GM. Well, first of all, congrats, Proof. That's awesome, dude. Congrats. Yeah, dude. I just NFT Drew and Cheese were talking about, people fudding, all that. I'm not going to presume to tell anybody how to move, but I'll just make a suggestion. This is something that I do all the time. I take negative indicators the whole way off my timeline. If you're someone who is bitching and unhappy and miserable all the time, I just mute you. I won't even unfollow you. If I followed you because we were in a common NFT community or something at one point, it's all love. We're all here to support each other or whatever. I don't need to take that away or whatever, but I don't need it on my timeline, man. Nobody fucked this trade up more than I did. I mean, I was in the middle of an 11-day, 12-hour work stretch, man. I had pub cups at 0.02, and the night of the burn, I just couldn't be bothered to figure it out. I was tired, and I was up a 3x cap, and I sold him for 0.06 ETH. And I was like, good trade, bro. Good trade, But I'm still rooting for all these guys, man. I want to see it be as big of a success as it can possibly be. The more successful it is, the more people, pay attention to NFTs again, the more people are interested in Web3. The more wins, the better, man. Whether I catch the win or not, it's the old trope, right? The rising tide, right?
Absolutely.
I mean, I want to see stuff like this happen all the time, and whether I catch it or miss it or mistrade it or whatever, man. So I'm just saying, when it comes to the timeline, though, just mute the negative indicators, man, because you'll get bogged down. You'll miss something that, if you were going to look at 50 posts today, you'll miss the 51st post that might have had some alpha in it because somebody was crying about something, or you spent time arguing with someone because someone said something that you disagreed with, and now you're arguing with this guy instead of catching the alpha, or being just entertained, or just seeing positive stuff and having a positive experience. So anyway, that's what I do. I mute these negative motherfuckers, dude. That's what I do.
Well said.
Whoa! Did you hear this guy?
Great.
Oh, by the way, Cheese is up here doing stolen valor. Like he told me to give away that pup cup, dude. I completely said I jokingly said if I happen to win,
Stolen valor.
I jokingly said if I happen to win this, I'm giving it away.
And then he won it.
And then I won it and immediately threw it to one of the bros. Shout out to Dillo, who's always so supportive. So,
Oh my God. This
Cheese
guy.
acted like he told me to
Don't-
give it away. This is
don't
like,
blame
oh,
the,
man, dude.
You have to give it away. Co-host can't win.
I in my brain I saw not just the oof gif, the big oof gif where he's like turns the throttle all the way up to like maximum size oof. I feel you.
Oh, I don't regret giving that away at all. I mean, that's great that somebody came to our space and got such a huge opportunity. I do regret completely botching that trade.
Oh, that's what I was saying. The oof one, yeah, the 0.26 or whatever. That is an oof. But great perspective, and I agree. I have little tolerance. I actually have a lot of tolerance for a lot of things, except for negative people. And you don't have to be into stockbrokers. You don't have to be into RWAs or tokenized stocks at all. If you like on-chain builders and you like NFTs, like you should be rooting for this. It is capturing attention. It is there's a moment right now, and it's getting people on Reddit talking about it. There's some real motion right now, and it's more than just our little corner of crypto Twitter. Is it going to be like 2021? No. But I think what is much more likely than thousands or millions of new users and participants coming in, I think what's much more likely is dozens, maybe hundreds of builders taking more shots on goal again. Whether they're still in crypto, but they've started playing around a lot more with AI, and it's like, it's too much effort. It's more work than what I'd get out of it. So I'm not going to mess around experimenting on chain. And not only startup builders, I truly do believe this. I think one of the biggest wins that can come out, and it's why I keep pushing the PvP stuff a little bit. It's in good fun. I hold apes. I still hope stockbrokers flip apes. I got far more. We used to be a lot more. It's the gap is closing on a daily basis, but I still have more exposure to the Yuga ecosystem. I still hope stockbrokers flip them. It's not about the dollar amount, or I might be able to sell one for a little bit more. It's competition's a good thing. And seeing something like this happen, everyone in the space has to be paying. I would hope they're paying attention to it. They're seeing what's happening. And I hope it inspires some. I'm not saying that they all should go spin up drop a new collection that's and leverage this ER6551 wallets and do something with tokenized. That's not what I'm saying, but bring back experimentation. This is showing that there's still some product market fit here beyond just a degen casino, and you can do more with this tech than it just be a digital collectible. And I think that's maybe what I'm most optimistic about is this run up by stockbrokers gets all the 21, 22, all the legacy NFT PFP brands back in experimentation mode, back into airdrop mode, access mode, third party. Let's if you're launching a new collection, you're probably trying to incorporate some of the stockbrokers community as stockbroker holders. Oh, by the way, that could also benefit ape holders and pudgy holders. And, if they're looking at, we want to bring on the holders of blue chip collections. Well, the legacy ones are still in that conversation. It's just what might lead to the next opportunity could very well be because of this stockbroker run up. And it's very hard to connect the dots looking forward, much easier to connect the dots looking back. But I'll just say I agree with an idiot. Mute the negative people that are just looking to be critics and take shots at everything. I get it can be frustrating to see sometimes you have a miss, whether you're in and you sold too early or you were on the sideline, you heard Simple Farmer talking, you chose not to participate for whatever reason. I get all that. It's still like you should be excited that Proof Alpha DJ picked up a punk. Like compersion. I haven't said the word for a while. I think I'm saying it right. It's like the opposite of jealousy. Like, don't be envious and jealous because Proof Alpha DJ made a good trade. Like, he played it right. He was early. He supported someone he's supported for many years. He got a big dub and picked up an asset he's been presumably, aspiring to collect for a while. Like, that's awesome. And also, reminder that if it can happen to Proof Alpha DJ, if it can happen to me, it can happen to you too. Like, you're potentially one button click away from your big W. And I don't say that like to be cheesy. It's very real here. There's no other place on the planet where just by showing up every day, by paying attention, and yeah, you still got to be right place, right time. You still got to click the button, but we see it here quite often. And usually when things start happening like this to this scale, there's usually data trade. Now, we talk about that euthanasia roller coaster, and the next one might be less than the one prior, and then the next one after that might be less. So like maybe you miss the biggest trade of this cycle, or maybe it's just the first trade of the cycle. There's people that missed Bored Apes, and at 0.3 ETH, instead of joining the fund, they decided just to FUD it. Oh, that's just meme coins with pictures. And not only did they miss getting into an incredible ape trade at under an ETH, many of those same people that just FUDed Bored Apes also missed hundreds of thousands, millions of dollars of gains in the NFT cycle because all they did, they wanted to just be the critic and tell everything that's wrong with it. And no, that's not going to last. That's a bubble. It's going to pop, and these things are going to go to zero. And you know what? Some of they're riding a lot of those collections now. The people who were anti-NFTs and FUDed it the entire time in 21, 22, to some degree, they were right.
You know what it is?
Who made more money?
People are completely allergic to accountability. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Because I botched that trade, and dude, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it hurts. I mean, I lost sleep over it, brother, but that's me. That's on me. I was too lazy to click that button. These people that want to FUD it and stuff, they're in the mindset of, oh, I'm right, I'm smart, and everyone else is wrong and stupid, and that's the only reason that this is going so well. And now I'm going to maintain this stance of superiority, even though I was wrong. No, I wasn't wrong. Everybody else is wrong. The market's wrong. If you think the market's wrong, buddy, you need to take a long look in the mirror.
Yep. Absolutely. I mean, it's accountability is a big thing, and it goes in both directions with your wins, your L's, and yeah, you can be a critic, and with most things, you'll probably eventually be right to some degree, but and maybe that makes you happy. Like, you can say you were right. I'd like to be happy while making money, and even when I miss something, I use that as motivation to, okay, let me attempt to not miss the next one, versus just I'm gonna now make this my personality to FUD this thing because I missed it. I think Drew's hand was next, and then we'll go back to Joey. I see Bagel as well. If you want to join the conversation, throw up a hand, and we've got a special guest going to be joining us here in about 5 minutes. But let's go Drew, and then Joey, and then Bagel if you want to get in here. It's weird because I see Drew as a speaker on the bat phone. I see it on the Coffee with Captain phone. There he goes. Now he's off.
Yeah, I think sometimes the hands get stuck up even when they're not up. Because like his hand's been up for like 30 minutes. And I don't think it was supposed to be up.
He's now a listener now. So let's go Joey, and then Bagel.
Yeah, to go back on, I guess it's related to all the topics. I think that there's, I spend as much time, if not more time, than almost everybody in this space, right? Like working for BZ, coming on Coffee with Captain, being in the Discords, and I miss shit all the time. Like you talked, I mean, thankfully I didn't miss Panini Blockchain. I still haven't sold though, because I haven't decided if I want to rip them all or what yet. So we're down a little bit from the all-time high, but that's fine though, because we're still up. But you talked about stonk brokers. I didn't do anything. I mean, I can't even begin to count how many times you've talked or the War Room has talked about stuff, and it was cheap, and I never did anything because I just never pulled the trigger. And the worst thing you can do is, and who I can't remember who Oxy was talking about how I sold for. Listen, profit's profit. It sucks you didn't get more profit, but you got profit, right? Like that's better than no profit at all. And it's just crazy to me that people will FUD because they didn't make a play or do something. I'm happy all my friends are winning. I'm happy you're up however many ETH you're up. Would I like to be up that much ETH too? Yes. But there's like this saying, and I know I'm gonna butcher it, where it's like if you cheer for others as much as you cheer for yourself, then like it like comes back to you or some shit like that. I don't know. We need Steve here. Steve would probably know what it is. But like you got to celebrate your friends' wins.
Absolutely.
And you got to be happy for people, because if you're not, then why would you expect you to ever win, right? Like no one's ever gonna include you or give you the alpha or whatever. So we need more people championing the successes of others versus trying to tear people down.
Couldn't agree more. And it's just how I live life. It's not even a crypto thing. It's a life thing. And it is like, I built my professional career in franchising. So as a franchisee and then a franchisor, and I had counterparts, I had peers that would get really upset if one of their employees left, got even more upset if one of their employees went and became a franchisee themselves, or took a better role with Verizon, for instance. I was the exact opposite. I was their biggest cheerleader, and I told everyone when I brought them in, like, "Hey, I hope you're not here forever. Like, I don't care if they're starting as a sales rep, a manager, doesn't matter. Like, I want them to outgrow our company. We're a startup, and I don't have more management positions. Like, our way of growing is we add more stores. So for a sales rep, like when I'm adding stores is when I've got more managers than I have stores. So if you're a sales rep starting, like you can kind of control your own path, because if you get that good, I'll go open another store because I need you to run it and I don't want to lose you. But at a certain point, a lot of people will outgrow those levels. And it's probably my most proud professional accomplishments have been just that. People who, one of my regional managers in that Verizon business would go on to open his own Verizon stores. And I don't know, I think he got to like more than I ever owned. My peak was like, I opened the 30th just as I was exiting. So we'll say 30 stores. I think he got up to 30 plus, and then became a area developer in another franchise brand, partnered with Drew Brees, and he's opening up Asible shops all across the country. Far more success in the world of franchising than I ever had. And I'm not taking credit for what he did, but that sort of stuff is, I get excited about. Like if I played a small role in their career success, that's more important to me than me keeping them in a role that's below what they're capable of. Anyways, be happy for others. And I think it also, that mindset makes it more likely that you see the next opportunity that comes along, because you're not in some Debbie Downer type mood or mentality. Bagel, go ahead, get in here, and then we will bring on.
Did you ever go to an idiot?
I think so.
I don't remember if it ever got past him, because you had Jesus, when you walked away, say go to Drew, Joey, or no, maybe it was, I don't know.
I gave a whole big speech about muting petty bitches on the top.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, an idiot inspired this conversation about positivity, and
yep, you're right.
And
I'm sorry.
I'm pointing out all
brother.
Point out all the cheese today for Mayhem. I'm going to pour the cheese on, but sometimes the cheesy stuff, it's cheesy because it works, and it sticks because it actually works. Bagel GM, what's your favorite cheesy take this morning?
Oh God, I did want to weigh in on the sentiment behind stockbrokers. I haven't gotten a chance to talk too much about it in spaces. But yeah, I definitely have seen lots of emotional reactions. I think when liquidity is getting thrown around and they're not involved in it, I think they like to react. But for me, the positivity around its existence doesn't have as much to do with like genuinely like rooting for other people, as opposed to like understanding like what this does for NFTs and the type of healthy pressure that this puts on, you know, on a lot of like blue chip collections to find crafty ways to like offer ROI, because like, you know, point blank, you know, a lot of collections are just pushing products onto holders, and it's like, it's great, it's very exclusive. Like, I mean, personally, I like it, right? Like, I got selected to get the jacket for the Bored Ape Yacht Club, and I'm really excited to get that jacket. It's cool. It you know, it should be fun. I'll be going to Ape Fest and everything. But at the end of the day, like, the market is doing the talking right now when it comes to like what they are like what we're all comfortable throwing huge volume at. And it's, to me, this is very simple. And like, you know, and yeah, I definitely kicked myself for not like, because I saw Pup Cups all over the TL. You know, I know of Simple Farmer. I've been in a bunch of spaces with him and everything. He's outstanding. So I heard much about this, but, and I've spent time kicking myself like, dang, like, you know, this tech makes sense to me. I just can't believe I didn't pull the trigger. But that's never going to be a reason for me to FUD something that is genuinely pushing this space in arguably the most healthy direction that we've been in like years. I just think that it's good for the space. I think it's good. Like, if you already hold blue chips, I think this is great news for you, because I think certain teams and founders are going to be getting a little more aggressive in terms of like, hey, how can we like figure out like some sort of flywheel tech that allows our holders to eat, and not just like whales, right? Because like I see it all the time. There's like, you know, raffles and whatnot. But on a lot of that stuff, I mean, dude, like straight up, it's a whales game. To like win those raffles and whatnot. I've seen it. I've been a part of it. Sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's not. But at the end of the day, I just think that this is massively positive for the space. And as an ape holder, I mean, I literally just got this ape, and I'm already hoping at this point that that they flip pretty much everything. I mean, I love what this is. I tried out Pit Boys a little bit. And it wasn't for me, because I couldn't like I missed kind of like the cheap wave. So I couldn't like stack up a whole bunch of them in order to like farm the tokens and everything. So it just, for me, mathematically, it didn't make like a ton of sense to hold at the price that I bought them at. But like, I just like what it's doing for the space. I'm rooting for it. I spent my entire morning listening to the space and writing a very, very lengthy post about the collection and what I think it's doing for the space. You know, I was very sure to tag it with NFA, do your own research, because it's heavy on speculation, but it's outstandingly positive. And, you know, everybody who bought into this should be patting themselves on the back that you took the time to learn the tokenomics behind this, because, you know, once I learned, that's kind of my experience, like what's really going here. I was like, this is phenomenal. And this type of thing to lead the next like serious bull run. I think it's bullish signs. I don't think we're in a full bore bull market yet, but I think that these are the earliest signs of that right here. And I think that like this are going to lead that bull run.
Yep. No, if not lead, I think certainly we're much more likely to get an actual bull if we have things like this that get exciting, that take over the timeline, that creates momentum and gets people talking again, gets people in. You know, if all we see is stuff going down and we see new projects just going to zero, like that's not bull market inspiring at all. But speaking of builders and exciting things and good stuff happening to the space, it's been a minute. It's been a little while. But excited to, lots happened actually since we last had him on the show, played a role in all this mania that we're seeing now on the timeline with stockbrokers and more. One of the partners and brains and support behind Clutch Markets and the stockbrokers join me in welcoming the one and only Aaron Haber on the stage. This is Inside the Vault, brought to you by Unvault.
Yo, inside the vault, put royalties back on chain. Enforcement went optional, we bringing it back again. Freeze it at the source, then you move it with ease. Claim it where you land, one live, no duplicate keys. No rappers, no doubles, identity stays intact. Clean ownership trail, royalties paid, that's a fact. No, one live, no duplicate keys.
Welcome back to Coffee with Captain. I'm Cap, going to be joined here by Aaron Haber of Unvault. The Unvault account is on the Audio Spaces. If you're not yet following that, you're going to want to probably follow it, maybe turn on notifications, because if you thought, if you do think that we're back, if you do think we're getting NFT season 2.0, you might want to be locked in to Unvault, their bugs minting soon, and a lot more happening. A lot more to come. I think we're just in the top of the first inning as it relates to some of this excitement here, assuming things continue. And then also, if you're listening to the podcast later or catching this audio version only, or if you're actually on YouTube watching us and you don't know the X account, it's exactly like it sounds, Unvault, UNVAULT. Give that account a follow, give them some love, and appreciate all of you helping us get things warmed up here. The space is popping off today. I think we might have been getting botted earlier. If that's you, don't bot us. We've never botted ourselves, and it hurts more than it helps. But appreciate if you were doing it out of the good of your heart. Thank you for the intent, but yeah, don't do that anymore if that was you. As much as I wanted to, as much as I love to compete with at the clubhouse and dunk on that space, I kid. It's just a bit. But I think we are we're showing them up a little bit here today.
Apologies, Cap, for botting your space. I won't do that again. You try to do a guy a solid, and he's all like, don't do that. Okay, fine. Hey, Cap, we are not in a bear market. We're not in a bull market. We're in a stonk market. Okay, that's the line I'm going with. And yes. I was listening, and look, I remember when apes, first got really hot, and I was in like the clubhouse rooms, and everybody was crapping on Bored Ape Yacht Club. Oh, the art is terrible, and oh, what are they doing? And oh, this isn't what NFTs are supposed to be. And I was like, I like it. I think it's fun, And so it's not surprising that we're having, similar stuff, with clutch markets and stonk brokers. But yeah, I don't know if people know. If you look at the Unvault timeline, you'll see one of our first posts, and I did clean it up a little bit last week before the Godpull announcement. But one of our first posts is from November 2025 about how we're happy that Clutch Puppies is going to be the first official collection that has agreed to be unvaulted to the different I think at that point we had 4 chains. We've moved it to 8 chains now. And November of 2025 is when Unvault, Ernest Lee and I became partners with Simple Farmer in Clutch Labs. Clutch Labs is the company. Clutch Markets is the name, all the stuff, that he's doing. And now we don't take credit for any of the wizardry that Simple Farmer, has put into the market. Although I will say that Stonk Brokers was like the test collection that we were using on Unvault, which is, I don't know if people know this, it's a full NFT trading platform, buying not just Unvault collections, but any collection. And I kept seeing, these little blockhead guys all over the place. And I finally asked our dev, and I'm like, what is this, just like an imaginary collection? And no, it was Simple Farmer's test collection that he put on Robinhood Testnet. And people may not know this, but Simple Farmer was our lead dev in creating the Unvault platform, which means that there are certain things on the platform that I can't even explain to you, because Simple Farmer put them on. We have like a pseudo swap liquidity pool thing that I could maybe try to explain to you, but Simple Farmer has to explain it. And yeah, there's one of the guys there. So if you're watching the video, what you're looking at is a little peek of the Unvault platform. And I'll get off of this. To be launched. And in fact, it's the preview. This is just our Versal, because we're using the old logo. We have to get you a new logo, by the way. Psych designed our logo, our new logo. Psych from Deadfellas and from Godpull. but people don't know it. We're a full NFT trading platform. And I guess, people say, well, you can't compete with OpenSea. It's true. We're not going to try to corner the market on not paying royalties to collections.
Shots have been fired. Just on a day that we are applauding OpenSea for my $5 of Cash Cat that's now $20 of Cash Cat. So Aaron, I'm expecting at least $20 of some sort of token to be dropped once Unvault goes. I kid. This is good though. It's my first time getting. I mean, I've seen some rendering, some early screens. It's my first time seeing this, which looks like a live platform. This looks good. I like it. I dig it.
Yeah. Well, Quid is doing the final branch of our repo, and then we should be testing. I don't know, hoping a couple of days after everything gets a thumbs up from OX Quit, who's auditing, and then a couple of days of testing, a couple of days of deploying. We have a lot of contracts to deploy on 8 different chains. Let me do the list right now: ETH mainnet, Robinhood, Solana, ApeChain, Base, Abstract, Polygon, Binance Smart Chain for starters. And then we deploy, we test for a day or two, we do some stress testing, and then we launch, we unvault Godpull to 8 different chains. We're gonna have a big event for that, and then we also mint Genesis bugs, and we may mint Genesis bugs before the Godpull. I don't know. We'll see. But the bugs are all ready, for their big debut. And listen, God bless OpenSea, because they really filled the gap for the need of collections to be sold until Unvault came along. I'm kidding, of course. OpenSea is a monster. They're great. Big OpenSea. I can't wait for them to join us in paying royalties to all the collections out there. And when people in the audience are having a heart attack now, because I've been in the space for a long time, and so I remember when the royalty debate was fierce, and it's code is law, and they're not it's not in the fine. We've invented different utilities that make sure that everybody can get paid. Okay, so we have a thing called the divot, which because we're all about compliance. Okay, I don't want to spend time with the pokey, all right, unless I make like $1 billion like CZ, then fine. But we developed a compliant way for collections to pay their collectors called the divot. And so when royalties come into a collection, those collections working with us can fund a divot pool, and those holders who have opted in to this program followed some simple rules like, hey, don't sell, or maybe sell that week, whatever it is, they can claim from the divot pool and get paid from the collection. We have a thing called a minter's bonus, where we think minters are very important, because without minters, none of these collections would exist. They would just be, unearthed artifacts hanging out in contracts. So we have a minter's bonus, where if you come and you mint, and you have one of our Genesis bugs in your wallet when you mint, the collections can give you bonuses. Now, to be compliant, they can't tell you what the bonus is ahead of time. That's just what the rules say, not our rules, like the rules, right? But for instance, they can say, okay, you minted 5 blowies, which is a future collection coming up on Unvault's Launchpad. So for those 5 blowies, you're going to get a percentage of the sales for the 5 that you minted, but you let go into the marketplace. And so when they sell, we're going to take an equivalent of a percentage of those royalties, and we're going to fund your minter's bonus. Now that is, I'm not saying that's what we're going to do. I'm saying that's one possibility. We could also drop an RWA, knock on the door. Hello, here is your dolphin. We bought you an actual dolphin. Do you have a swimming pool? We can get you wearables. We can get you cryptocurrency. We can get you, anything. A lunch with Simple Farmer. It could literally be anything. We drop NFTs representing those minter's bonuses into your bug shell, and they stay there forever. They're token bound to the bug, not soul bound to your wallet, token bound to the bug 6551 wallet. And so you know what that means, Cap? It means you can sell it if you want to.
Wait. So
you can sell the bonuses in the bug
without. Wait, you can sell the bonuses because they're attached to the bug, or you can sell. You can transfer them out of the wallet while still keeping the NFT.
For compliance sake, they have to remain in the shell.
Interesting. Okay.
In the wallet, we call it the shell, the wallet, but you can trade the whole bug, and if you stack Minter's bonuses, now I don't know why you'd want to trade it because you're collecting all these Minter's bonuses on our site.
I think that's, sorry for the interjection. I'll hit it right back to you. We had some questions actually yesterday regarding some of the stuff Stockbrokers is doing, and I know Ernest and board council, like you all have helped there, and there's a lot of questions. This is new. It's a gray area. Might things change? Yes. But a lot of people aren't talking about 6551 and this technology, and that it's not just an NFT or an agent, but that this wallet it's different than a human doing some stuff. I'll just leave it at that. I'm not an attorney. I'm not the legal expert. I don't work for the SEC or any of these regulatory agencies, but part of what I'm so excited right now is not just numbers going up, it's experimenting on chain. It's leaning into new technology, and 6551 is not new. It's been out for a little while. We just haven't seen much done with it. And now we are. Yeah. And it gets me really excited. So thank you for the experimentation. Thank you for, I was giving myself some kudos for being early to Clutch and Simple Farmer, because we were, I think, one of the first sponsorships, first partnership with Clutch. You guys just had to one up me though, and actually invest in the guy and take an equity stake. And
yes,
sponsorships are like one and done, or short-term cash injection, whereas you all are riding the Simple Farmer gravy train. So congratulations and kudos, and in all seriousness, like really well done, and not just
Cap,
from an investment standpoint, but surrounding yourself with talented devs and people who are experimenting. Like this is the builder energy I'm talking about.
Thank you very much. And our dev team now was Simple Farmer's dev team, and he was working for us, like crazy. And we said, hey, you've done all that we wanted you to do. Can we continue working with your dev team? And he was like, yes. And so now they're working, for us on Unvault, continuing to do the great work that he was the lead dev for. We can't take credit for any of the craziness that Farmer has invented. I can tell you that I'm very proud, and we have a reciprocal arrangement between the two companies. So when Simple Farmer announced the change in stockbrokers, so that the stockbrokers could, pick whatever asset they wanted to, and of course, whatever asset is available in their region, they're using the divot. Like that is the divot. We're happy to give a license to our partner, for the divot, and so Unvault's the divot.
That's awesome.
Is helping with stockbrokers. Reciprocally, if that's a word, in version 2 of Unvault, which is going to come pretty quickly after version 1, we are going to add Anvil to Unvault. So the NFT projects that are working with us, they can create their own Anvil AMM. There are some slight differences, and I think we actually mentioned this on your show for the first time, Cap, a while ago, is that the AMM coins are going to be tradable against each other, which I believe is the first time that's been done. So if you have Stockbroker coin, if you have DGen network coin with your AMM, if you create one, they'll be tradable against each other, and they should be usable currency on Unvault to purchase whatever you want to, trade whatever you want to on Unvault.
Really interesting. So I have a question. Can I ask a question? I don't want to interject if you're.
I'm just blabbing. Go ahead.
Well, question and kind of like a question bundled as a suggestion as well, or a talking point, because as you're going through all this, like I'm familiar with what you're building. I'm excited about Unvault. I am maybe one of the most vocal pro royalty voices in this space. I'm not saying like, oh, look at me. It's just like I've been pro royalties from the jump, from 2021.
Yep.
I was anti-Blur because of what they did with royalties, and as a trader, like I didn't care. Like it was royalties are part of what makes on-chain collectibles and on-chain business. It's what makes on-chain art better than traditional art in some regards, because it helps support those artists in perpetuity. And so I've been really excited about all that you're building. We did get a question as you're like halfway through that. It's like, what exactly is Unvault? What is this guy selling? Like what? So
I know there's a lot.
How like what is like? It's easy to say, oh, it's an NFT marketplace, but that's like saying saying OpenSea's an NFT marketplace. While it is, they're going and doing a lot of other things, tokens and perps, and they probably would say we're much more than an NFT marketplace. Just as I would say it's not fair, or it's doing Unvault an injustice to say you're just an NFT marketplace, doing a lot more that's also different, right? It's different. It's not like you're also doing a perp dex and everything else, but everything you just described, like how do we sum that up? What's the like? Someone asks you, what is Unvault? Do you have a canned answer? Do you have a thought out, like here's the quote unquote elevator pitch in a sense? And I'm not trying to put you on the spot. It's just like I saw the question. I'm like, man, how would I even describe Unvault succinctly now? Because it really, and even hearing you today, and you talk about like, the Anvil AMM, like it's you're already like Unvault's already more than what I thought Unvault was, and I thought I knew pretty well what you all were building. So yeah, that's I guess the question, and then maybe even a takeaway if you don't have it dialed in yet, because I think I'm not trying to put you on the spot. It's just like, what is Unvault? How do you answer that question?
Yeah, I mean, the reason why I am concentrating on the NFT marketplace in terms of explaining it is because, we've been talking about the omni-chain features that we present to collections. Hey, you're on an old 721 contract. We can easily migrate you to a 721C, but also get you deployed Echo contracts on 8 different chains. And then your collectors, your traders can go different liquidity pools, blah, blah, blah. We've been talking about the divot where you can legally pay eligible holders. And by the way, anybody can become an eligible holder, right? So unless you live in like North Korea or Iran or something like that. But you can pay your eligible collectors just for holding your collection or selling your collection. You can give minters bonuses. But, and we've been talking about all those things, the Genesis bugs, but I think people don't know that we're an actual NFT marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
And so to sum it up, I think I'd sum it up generally a little bit in that we are an ecosystem growth engine. And I know that sounds like bullshit, right? But we bring value to every step of the ecosystem. So for the founders, we are honoring royalties. Okay, it's not just enforcing royalties, we're honoring them. Doesn't matter if you're on a 721, we're going to honor your royalties. Okay, so that's a benefit for the teams. The divot allows the teams to pay the holders. Okay, and so that's a benefit for the holders. The minters bonus allows you to benefit the minters, et cetera, et cetera. So we're an NFT ecosystem growth engine. I don't like to think about us as just like new infrastructure. We are. By the way, this stuff is internationally patent pending. So you don't do it. Okay. So to answer your question, I don't know if we can say in like a sentence, this is what we do.
And that's okay. Like I like growth engine. I like NFT ecosystem growth engine. I think that it probably still leads to more questions. It probably okay. What does that mean? What are these guys? What are they actually doing? personally, I love that you are leaning into not just honoring royalties, but also helping enforce royalties, right? Like if it's the first time you heard about Unvault, even if you've already minted, like not only can they help you go omni-chain, but they can help you enforce royalties without having to go hire a dev and migrate everything to a new contract. And like that can be done. I mean, Corky's comes to mind of a collection that migrated to a new contract that was royalty protected. Unvault can help you do that at a fraction of the cost.
If there are people in your audience who have 721s or the equivalent, I think on Solana everything is royalty enforced. I think I'm not a Solana expert, but our dev is, so that's a good thing. But if you tell people go trade our collection on Unvault and you don't do anything, we're still going to give you your royalties, even if it's a 721. Okay. If you want to take a step up, yeah, we have a really simple dashboard. We can even help you white glove it, if you're nervous, where you just press a couple of buttons and we spit out a 721C. Your contract is the same, except it's royalty enforced at that point, and we give you tools to help incentivize migration. Of course, it's up to the holder whether they migrate or not, but you can give them a divot if they do, right? So we're trying to help. I know it sounds silly to say we're trying to help every step of the ladder in the ecosystem. Of course, we pay special attention to our clients. They're getting, the first phase mint allocation because they believed in us first, right? They signed up with us officially. But even people that aren't signed up with us, collections, founders, whatever, we're still going to look to help them until they say, "Oh, yeah, sure, let's do this officially." We're going to help. And even if they never do, we're going to help them. We believe it's good for the ecosystem. Unvault is everything we wanted in 21. Thank you, Hizzy.
Yep.
But I was here too. And Cap, like, how many times did we get into heated discussions, and not you and I necessarily, but even on your show about royalties, about helping, about whatever.
Well,
and nobody did it, and so we just decided to do it.
Yes. So again, thank you for seeing opportunities in the space, problems, and building real solutions to these problems. I also wonder, like, I don't know, maybe Unvault doesn't even exist, isn't a thing, isn't even an idea if not for Blur, if not for some of the stuff that we went through in not even early 21, but in the years that followed.
Yeah.
If some of that stuff doesn't happen, if royalties never go away, I don't know, maybe Unvault never, pops into your brain. So
I think it's more about the pop-up of new chains.
Okay.
Right? Because all of a sudden you have, I think when we talked to the people from Layer Zero, they said that they support like 165 chains or something.
Sheesh.
And I was like, I wouldn't, I maybe know 10% of those chains,
Mhm.
right? And
yeah, I don't know if I could name 20 chains. I mean, I probably could if I really thought about it, but mostly it'd be going through like tickers and I'd be like, oh, well, I've never done anything on Binance Smart Chain, but I know they have a chain.
Yeah.
So I could probably think of 20 chains, but I'm pretty sure I've not transacted on 20 chains.
So, where Unvault really came out of was me trying to go to mint with a collection that I liked, where I thought the art was good. I thought the founder, had some good ideas, and we weren't able to mint out like, I think it was maybe a 5,000 piece collection. And I get it; it was the bear market and all that, but I'm like, this, and it was cheap, and and I was like, because there's not enough attention on this chain. And I said to the guy, if we have to move to a different chain, we'll move to a different chain. And then as Ernest and I kept talking, we said, why move to one chain where we can figure out how to move the collection to all the chains and unlock the collectors on all those different chains? And so why, God love the chains, right? Because without them, there's not a lot we can do. Okay. We're working on blockchain. They're blockchains. That's great. Thank you very much, blockchains. Okay. But the collection should be the most important thing, not what chain it's on.
Mm-hmm.
like I know Claynosaurus is synonymous with Solana, right? And Claynosaurus I think is one of the absolute best teams, the best projects out there, always shipping, always doing things for their community. Love the team, love Claynos. I'm a Clayno, full disclosure. Okay. Would anybody not like them if they had launched on Ethereum, or if they had or if they were on other chains as well? No, I think it would give other people an opportunity to go and nab them that are uncomfortable figuring out Solana.
Well, not only that, like that's actually a great example because I'm on Solana. I hold NFTs on Solana, but I can't believe I've never moved over any like material amount of money. It's just been like, oh, I want this little thing, and I maybe had a little bit of Solana on there, and I've parlayed it into the next one or sold something into the next one, and I don't know. I probably hold like in my Solana wallet like maybe $20 of Solana today, and I know it's easy. Like it's not. I know how to do it, but in all seriousness, if I had the option, I blame OpenSea. It's a joke, but kind of like it's a joke, but it's also real that. Had I been able to buy Claynos on OpenSea or other chains, I almost certainly would have a Clayno now. But I just have not. It's excuses, but I'm someone who's deep in the space. I understand Solana. I know how to use Solana. I know how to get funds on Solana, and I still didn't pick up an NFT of a collection and a team that I adore because it was on Solana. And I just never got deep into NFTs on Solana. I just didn't.
And of course, there are people on Solana, Captain, that feel the same way about ETH. And so why should we have these segmented pockets of collectors in an already kind of smallish market? We can just bring everybody together, and that's what we're doing with Unvault. And by the way, we love Claynos so much, and we love the team so much that Claynos, I'm announcing this. Well, I did an AMA yesterday, which I did announce, but it was a private service. This is the first public time that I'm announcing it, which is that Claynos are going to get first phase mint allocation of Genesis bugs. We will have a healthy allocation for Claynos. If you're a Clayno holder, you will have a healthy allocation of it. You can connect your Solana wallet. It's totally fine, totally works. So get to the mint early. Of course, we'll post it on the timeline. We'll give you all the mint details, but come to the mint early. It's not going to be a full allocation for the entire Claynos collection. We only have 5,000 bugs, and we have a lot of other partners, but there'll be a healthy allocation for Claynos. And Cap, may I also announce this for the first time, that people that are holding your DGen Network NFT are also going to get first phase access and allocation to mint Genesis bugs as well. But anyway, with the Claynos are the Claynos no matter what chain they're on. Their brand is incredibly strong. I would argue it's the same thing for Bored Ape Yacht Club. I'd argue it's the same thing for Stonkbrokers. Although Stonkbrokers I think is very associated with Robinhood. And don't freak out, Stonkbrokers. I'm not saying that we're gonna unvault Stonkbrokers. We can, but I understand they get deactivated if they're moved, and so we'll talk to Simple Farmer. It'll be his choice, okay? But point is that the collection is the thing. I didn't wear an ape PFP for years, and now wearing a Stonkbroker PFP because it's on a certain chain. I do it for what it represents. Doesn't matter what chain it's on.
Diego, my heart, I'm sorry I'm breaking your heart. I do still have desire to own a Clayno, and I will someday. Maybe I own it sooner than later because of Unvault. They're going to help me get there. I do hold a Popkin for what it's worth. I'm not completely sidelined there, but yeah, I am. I mean, we talk about how much the tech has evolved and how much, earlier I was talking about, I'm able to transact on mobile once again. I do think, while the tech has gotten so much better, we have social sign-on and hat tip to things like Privy and Glyph Wallet and yeah, I can buy on OpenSea, I can buy an NFT and use another token that's not the native token, and it uses Relay behind the scenes, and it just works. I still think NFTs have kind of lagged on the tech side. So yes, the space is so much easier to transact today than it was in 21, 22. I feel as if NFTs are still lagging a little bit on the tech side. And since I've been pouring on the cheese today, I truly believe like Unvault is helping bridge that gap. Like what Unvault's introducing, it's eliminating that barrier of the remaining barrier of tech. Because even those that are here, sometimes it's, I don't know how to bridge. I don't know how to transact in this chain. Other time it's just like, I don't know, we're just lazy, or we don't like moving things. We want to keep this is my trading wallet. This is my dry powder. This is my liquidity. I don't want to spread it across 8 different chains. Well, with Unvault, you won't have to. You can do it all the same in one similar or same look and feel and a user interface that doesn't matter what chain the stuff's on. It's the collection, and what you're buying should matter more than the chain it's on. And for a while, I started. You talk about like Layer 0 and the 160 chains they support. Like for a while, I used to think, like that's silly. There's only going to be, fast forward a few years, there's only going to be a few chains that'll matter. And I actually don't think that anymore. I actually now think that it's likely we have a lot more chains that matter, but don't matter. There'll be a lot more chains that are relevant. The chain is just not going to matter because of solutions like
Robinhood Chain Cap. I mean, launched last month, I believe. I think it's only been a month or so, and they're on Arbitrum, I believe, but it's its own chain. Mm-hmm. And Robinhood is a company, and they said we need our own chain, and there's a lot of companies that are putting out their own chains. And by the way, I want to say that we're thrilled to give Klenos first round mint access. I am not saying that Klenos are unvaulting. Klenos are welcome to unvault whenever they want to. We love Klenos, but I am not announcing that they're unvaulting. That would be their announcement to make if that was happening. And so I don't want to have people misconstrue that and put it on the timeline. We are just giving them a mint allocation because we're friends with them and we love them. So yeah, I mean, Cap, and on Unvault, you can buy any NFT on any chain with any currency. And if it is an Unvault collection, meaning that, STK, Bulls on the Block, Heavy Metal, Godpull, et cetera, if they're on the different chains, you'll also be able to decide what chain you get that NFT you just bought delivered on. Same thing with minting. When you come and mint Genesis bugs, we did a template for community managers, and it said what chain, and we listed all 8 chains, and we got messages back like, what does this mean? And it means when you are minting Genesis bugs, it's a free mint, by the way, 0.0 ETH or Solana or Robinhood or whatever. You can choose, if it were a paid mint, you'd be able to choose whatever currency you wanted from those 8 chains, USDC, etc. We use Particle Network. And then you would be able to choose what chain you want to deliver to you on. And then for the lifetime that you own that thing, you can move it around the different chains on our platform. But we're making it really easy. The collection is the most important thing. The art, the utility, the community, etc. And we just open it up to everybody on those 8 chains and more to come.
I love it, man. We did get another question, and if anyone else has questions for Aaron, drop those in the chat, or feel free to throw a request in to come join us on stage here. We're running a little long once again this morning. It's been one of those weeks. But the question from Diego says, my Klenos are parked on my ledger. Can we have a Matrix verification to access the mint? Any plans for that sort of verification, or I'm trying to think of some of the other.
What was the verification?
Matrica.
I'll have to be honest, I'm not familiar with that.
I think like the highest level, like a delegate or a way to verify an asset without having to connect the cold wallet.
Oh, so is this like delegation on Solana? See, this is how much of an ETH guy I am. But I say that wanting to learn more about Solana. We'll have the ability to have you have delegated access. I'll have to ask our dev particularly for that. And Diego, if you want to DM me and give me the spelling of it, I'll talk to my dev about it this morning.
And I think I could be wrong, but I think that is the one that actually uses Discord or probably Telegram as well. Yeah. So he said, yeah, it's the profile where you get roles in Discord. So yeah, he said I'll DM you.
I don't think we're doing Discord verification, but certainly delegated wallets. We'll think about it. We're always open to new ideas.
What so yeah, any other ideas, questions, thoughts for Aaron? Drop them in the chat. Feel free to come up and join us here on stage. Aaron, is there anything? So we got Bugs Mint coming. We got full on Unvault launch coming soon, and then after that, a lot of exciting stuff with some of these collections. You mentioned Godpool, and obviously we've been talking Stonkbroker. And I know you're doing everything the right way and double, triple checking the audits and make sure everything is secure.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know when we might have the Bugs Mint, or when you might flip the switch on? We're thinking August.
Oh, I certainly hope so. Yeah, I mean, well, and people have been listening for a while. They'll be like, "Didn't you say that in April?" And we did, and then the audit came back and was like, "You're using an off-chain digital asset management system, which is fine, but maybe just go on chain." And we're like, oh, okay. And so we did that, and we doubled down on security. We're now at the audit point where nothing major is going to change. It'll just be, like, hey, dot this I, cross this T. We're like, okay. And so, we're pretty transparent about things. So for all the geeky people, we're having our last branch of our repo checked. Shouldn't take that long. Any remediations should take a day or so. Deploying God knows how many contracts on 8chain should take a day or so, and then testing the hell out of it, stress testing it, and making sure everything's lined up the way it's supposed to be. That'll take a day or so. So I'm really hoping that we're coming down to the last 10 days, but I'm not going to promise a date. I promise you that we're going. We're not dragging our feet. We're very excited to get going. And so the mints, so the Genesis Bug Mint and the Godpool unvaulting will come first. Then second, we have the First Class Frenchie mint, and that's the second mint, or the first official mint, we're calling it. We have Blowies coming down the line, which is one of our projects that is going to buy up mutants from Bored Ape Yacht Club and distribute them to the Blowies holders. And then, of course, we have Heavy Metal that's going to be unvaulting, with Adam Weitzman, which he put out a really, really nice post a couple of days ago. And we're very grateful to him. He was one of our first officially signed clients. And then on and on till the break of dawn, then it's just, okay, what's the next mint? Okay, what's the next unvaulting? Are people having a good time on the trading platform? And then we just are in business,
Exciting times. I can't wait to, I shouldn't assume. I assume though that you and Ernest both planning on Ape Fest this year?
You never know. I did spend about an hour last night making sure that I was eligible.
Okay, that's where I was going to go with this. So I am looking forward to seeing you and Aaron both, hopefully at Ape Fest. Also a good reminder that while we're not going to talk about the other space that encroaches on our turf at 9 a.m. Eastern on Thursdays now, the tickets do go on sale today or are available to claim today. Actually, they do require a deposit. That's at noon Eastern. So you got about 1 hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Don't wait until noon though. While I think you should be okay in terms of, I don't think they'll sell out instantly. You want to tickets.apefest.com and double check, make sure you're ready. As Aaron said, he spent time last night to go through and make sure that, it was identifying, it was Glyphlot, identified where his apes were, and that it's there. It's one per holder. So if you've linked multiple accounts, or you can get a +1. The +1 is $269. The first ticket is a $169 deposit. You get the deposit back when you check in at Ape Fest, but the +1 is not a deposit. It's $269 for the +1s. But yeah, that is the point being is that goes live at noon today, noon Eastern time.
Out last year, didn't it?
What's that? Yeah, I think it did. And I don't even know. I think last year, if I'm not mistaken, I think they let apes go first and then mutants. This year, I think
that's what it was last. Is this year everybody goes at the same time?
I think it's everyone goes at the same time. And
I love our mutant brothers and sisters. They're apes too. So however the club does it, the club does it. And certainly going to an Ape Fest at People's Studio would be a magical experience, I think. So yeah, so listen, I'll be trying to get my ticket, and hopefully I'm able to go. Certainly, if I get a ticket, it's a lot more likely than if I don't, because I don't enjoy standing outside of venues I can't get into, banging on the door. You know.
Yeah, same for me. So, planning on attempting to get a ticket today. Planning on going. I don't know. Feeling odd this year. And I'll be like, I shared it in the war room. I'll share it here as well. I think part of it is like I am a little salty about moving the clubhouse space to 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock on Thursdays.
Well, I mean, I get it. I used to host shows every day, and there was one dude. I can't remember his name right now. Wasn't a super nice guy, but he was an interesting co-host, and he said, I want to come and I want to co-host with you. I said, okay. And then 2 weeks later, he started his own space at the same exact time. And I was like, well, that's not nice. You know, like there's so many times during the day and during the week. So, you know, I don't know. Maybe they'll realize like, oh, you know what? This is Cap's time.
No, it's not just me. It's like I told him this too. I don't think 9 o'clock morning show is good for a community-based show like that, where it's like, here's some updates. Things are heating up again. People are trading. People are looking for alpha and market updates and what popped up over last night. What are we looking at today? And it's not just me saying this. We're back. Like morning shows are back. Like for a while, we were like the last person standing, last show standing for the most part. And now you've got Thread Guys doing a morning show. Easy's back doing a morning show. We were just talking about OSF has a morning show that he's doing daily now. Granted, it's a little later, but yeah, the mornings are popping off. I don't think I understand why they're doing it. I understand it's a global audience. And it's not about me. I know they're bigger than me, bigger than the show. It made me feel a certain way. And I also just think it's poor timing. I think it's a bad time for a show of that sort. That's my opinion. They don't have to change it, but
even still, I think you're being nice about it. And I think, listen, I mean, the club is made up of members, and you're one of the OGs. And yeah, I don't think it's a bad thing to think about your members when you're thinking about putting out a new, you know, I know it's not a new show, but changing the time, etc. And who knows why they did it. And but yeah, I mean, listen, you know, for me, it's Coffee with Captain, and that's where I'm hanging. Love Bored Ape Yacht Club. And maybe they go an hour after you end. Maybe they go right.
I do hope we see, like in the past, I feel as we've gotten more idea of what the community events are. Like I feel a little I don't know, and I'm sure it's going to be fine. I've enjoyed every single Ape Fest. They've all met or exceeded my expectation in some cases by a large margin. I'm sure it's going to be great.
Mm-hmm.
I just, in past years, I've been really excited about Ape Fest in this year, and I'm sure People's Studio is going to be cool. It's just like, it feels like it doesn't feel quite the same. And I hope it's not a sign that every year is going to get smaller and smaller, and eventually we don't have one. I really enjoy Ape Fest. I enjoy seeing all my friends from across the globe. And I know they says they're going to do community stuff. I just, in past years, I think we've known, at least had an idea of what some of those community stuffs are going to be. What's the schedule looking like? And all we know so far is Ape Fest is going to be on Saturday night, and they're going to have a merch shop at the train station on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I don't know. I'm sure there's a lot more than that. It's just,
I'm sure they'll have more events. I'm sure they'll pop up more things as time goes on. I don't know. It's Ape Fest. It's Beeple Studios. I think that's great, but I also think it's okay for club members to give suggestions to the club, and to voice their opinions. I'd certainly want that with Unvault. Like, of course, I want to hear that people are having a good experience when we launch, but I'd want people to tell me, like, oh, hey, this thing, this could be better, or hey, that thing you did, that wasn't great. I'd be like, oh yeah, you're right, I'm sorry. Yeah, let's fix that. I think it's okay to be an active vocal member of the communities that you're in, which is different than being a giant dick. I mean, there's a way to be polite and nice and friendly while also being, honest about your feelings without being so reverential to a collection that you're afraid to say what you want to say.
Yep. And I probably get myself in trouble by speaking my mind too freely on a show like this. I know some things are taken out of context, but it's me. Like, you get what take it or leave it. I love the club. I'm a big fan. I've been since 21, and I will continue to be. But I also, if I feel a certain way, I'll often share it, whether I should or shouldn't in public. That's, I guess, each of your opinions. But yeah, so part of it, like, I appreciate it. Like, hey, so some feedback here is like you definitely need to give more time for the community events to pop up. I agree. You're right. Like, part of it is like, now that the community knows what day it's at, where it's at, they got to plan the events. I saw like Jay Bond talk about, hey, he's trying to get his free burgers there from Born and Hungry. I do think, like, yeah, the followed up by they pushed this announcement so late. I assume some of them are scrambling now, and that is kind of it. Is like, it was like, I think the announcement of the when and where came later than normal, and so I think because of that, I was expecting there to be more already planned out, but fair to their point, like, hard for community events to plan and coordinate when they don't know when and where it's going to be. So
the biggest thing is going to be funding for the events. I mean, I've hosted events at 2 Ape Fests and have been, working with other people that have hosted events or venues. And the biggest thing really comes down to if they can get enough funding to put up these events. And some communities, businesses will have no problem with that. And some of the communities or producers of the events that we've really enjoyed are not big companies. And so, they might need some assistance. And by the way, let me just say, last thing for me is that, I mean, I'm sure we've both spoken to Figgy, and he's one of the most accessible guys in the space. He's open to hearing things, and we've met with him. I've talked to him, I've met him, and he's just the nicest guy. And so I'm sure that Figgy, is not so precious that he doesn't want to hear feedback and opinions. I think as a good leader, you hear feedback, you hear opinions, and you take them all in and act on them when necessary. And he seems to me to be a great leader.
I agree. Big fan of Figgy, and yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I am. You just got me thinking to do about funding and these community events. Like, I also, not only is it challenging for the community to move so quickly with the later announcement, it's also like sponsors. Like, they've had, like, OpenSea was a sponsor last year. Maybe they will again this year. I don't know, but whether it's OpenSea or Unvault or Polygon was a sponsor one year. Yeah, they've had a variety of sponsors through the years that can help offset or cover, you know, a good chunk of the costs. And maybe they've done that. But I got me thinking, like, where is the funding coming from this year? In the past years, it's been ThinkApe, it's been ApeCo, Banana Bill. All those community funding mechanisms are no longer a thing, and so I guess it's Figgy and team seeing if like Yuga Direct will provide funding for a community event.
Maybe so. Listen, they've done that for ecosystem projects. You know, 4 million ApeCoin to Ape Church, you know, which was great. So, you know, they're showing that they'll put their money where their mouth is and you know, show support. I have no idea what that looks like for Ape Fest because I'm not putting up a project or anything like that. But you know, the club's been very helpful in the past, and I'm sure it will be this year too.
Yep, looking forward to it. Looking forward to seeing you all there. I am I'm not no pressure. I'm not holding you to it, but it'll be fun to be there and chat with Unvault being live and thriving. And yeah, big congrats again on the Stockbrokers run up, and I think great timing for Unvault to think that one of your partner collections, one of your partners, your partner devs to be kind of the talk of the town and crypto Twitter. Good timing for an Unvault launch. Yeah.
Let me just say again, we're so proud of what Simple Farmer's doing. We're so happy to be working with him. I can't take credit for any of the stockbroker stuff, but I can take credit for seeing the potential in an amazing partner. And by the way, that partnership started at Ape Fest last year.
That's awesome.
Farmer came to my comedy show that I was doing in Vegas for Ape Fest, and we started talking. We'd been talking a little bit before that, and we just hit it off. And then I got a call from him, a message, hey, can we talk? I got a call from him, I don't know, a week after Ape Fest, 2 weeks after Ape Fest, something like that. And he said, hey, what about Clutch Markets and et cetera? And we thought about it. And you know, I don't want to get myself in trouble with Simple Farmer here, but one of the big reasons that, besides liking Simple Farmer and liking his passion and his innovation, there was an idea that he had that we thought was a really gigantic idea. And that idea hasn't really even happened yet.
Oh, wow.
Like the stockbrokers, all that. I mean, and he's a mad genius. He's got all these plans. I love the post that he put out this morning from the stockbroker's office. I think it was this morning or last night. Like, he's kicking ass. Like, it's exciting. You know, I'm not going to say, 2021 vibes, whatever. No, this is 2026 vibes now.
Yep.
He is just masterful at this stuff. But the big idea, I think that the really interested Ernest and I hasn't really happened yet. Don't know if he's going to pivot away from it because of all the success he's having with this. But I mean, the guy has too many ideas. By the way, he's going to be in our show at 11 a.m. Pacific time. We're going to be talking about Genesis bugs and stockbrokers, and you know, the two companies working together, all that kind of stuff. So I hope it's okay to tell people that that's happening in
absolutely.
2.5 hours? Is that no
3.5? Yeah, 2 p.m. Eastern time. I pinned it up top. Holy moly, 205 people already hit that reminder button today.
That's nice.
Looks like it's going to be a relatively big show with Unvault and Simple Farmer and gang. I pinned that up top.
Anytime, Cap.
August 6th today, 2 p.m. Eastern. So here's your to-dos the rest of the day today at noon Eastern. You've got your Ape Fest tickets.
Oh, yeah.
You also have the Icons NFT reveal. If you're in that one, I'm considering maybe getting a few. I don't know. Don't do it because I'm saying this. It's still pretty low floor price. It's traded actually just below, slightly below mint. But it's one thing I'm looking at. I probably end up not making the move. But your Ape Fest tickets at noon Eastern today. Then at 2 Eastern, join the Unvault space with Aaron and Simple Farmer and Ernest talking Genesis bugs and what's next for Unvault. exciting times. Aaron, any final thoughts, any closing words, anything we didn't talk about today that you're hoping to share, whether it's Unvault related or otherwise?
No, I'm always nervous that, you know, we have so many new ideas that we're putting out to help people that I'm gonna just lose people, you know, and you know, because so really the Genesis bugs are the things that we should be concentrating on now publicly. We have this mint coming up. Oh, I do want to say, Cap, that, you know, last week in your space, and I'm not saying this, I'm prefacing this right now. I'm not saying this. I said, oh yeah, for anybody listening, you can send a wallet, you know, and we'll get you into the mint. And I said that for our space like 2 weeks ago. And I expected like 50 wallets. You know, I mean, you have a big audience, you know, but we didn't at the time. And I was like, yeah, we'll get like 37 people, and that's cool. Cap, we got, and I'm not exaggerating, we got about 1,600 wallets submitted.
Holy moly.
And I don't think they're all from the same guy. Okay, but we are going to honor those wallets and give an allocation in the first round of the mint. It won't be 1,600, but, you know, we're going to try to make as many of those people happy as possible. But that was insane. And so also, if you're in my DMs or on Vault's DMs, we're working through the list and getting back to everybody. So appreciate all of you. And Cap, appreciate you as always for being so supportive. Absolutely, and thanks for having us on.
My pleasure. Thanks for joining today. Appreciate you all. Appreciate the support. And yeah, the Unvault account, it's on the Audio Spaces. If you're not following it yet, go hit that follow button. Go hit that reminder for the space at 2 p.m. Eastern today. And we'll keep everyone updated here with bugs and Unvault going live. You're in the right spot. As Aaron mentioned too, any DGen pass holders, not only does that get you access to the NFT War Room, the gated channel in the Coffee with Captain Discord, it'll also get you access to that first round for those bugs mint when that does go live. But all that being said, we'll be back tomorrow. As always, 8 a.m. Eastern time. We are live here on Coffee with Captain. Tomorrow will be no different. So join us for show 1221 tomorrow at 8 a.m. Eastern time today. The reminder for that is also pinned up top. So hit 2 reminders on your way out of here. The one for the Unvault space at 2 and the one for Coffee with Captain tomorrow. We had well over 100 in the audio spaces all the way through, even a half hour over schedule today. And I appreciate all of you, because I am at least cognizant of another show that might start at 9 a.m. that some of you are want to not miss any information that comes out of there. So the only person I'll give a hard time is Machiavelli. Everyone else, you get the free pass for now. But in all seriousness, I appreciate all the support. Appreciate y'all being here. I will stop the at the Clubhouse jabs someday, just not today. And we'll be back tomorrow at 8 Eastern. Until then, go drop into the Unvault space at 2 and have a wonderful, wonderful day, everyone.